Hey there, Saguto golfers. Tom Saguto here. Today we are looking at fixing one of the biggest problems in amateur golf, and that is poor contact with the ball. You know, where you hit the ball and you might not take a divot. Sometimes you miss the ball, sometimes it's whiffed. We're going to turn those things into the beautiful, satisfying sensation of pure contact, where you hit the ball first. Look at this lovely divot on the front side of the ball. With this simple drill, you're going to learn how to get this club going through the ball. Just like that. There's that another divot again. It is so satisfying. And then why not? We can even do it again just by focusing on this one thing right there. How much thinking was that? About zero, because I just hit 3 shots or 2 shots there in a span of 10 seconds. If you can do that while swinging a 3-foot stick around your body, it's pretty darn predictable. I want you to think about what makes good contact first. You need to strike the ball solid on the center of the club face, and you need to take a divot after the ball. And this means that where that divot is the same spot every time in relation to your body. Meaning that divot's always on the front side, and it's always bottoming out somewhere around my left shoulder, left heel area, my front heel. If you get the club bottoming out there every time, you're gonna strike it pure every time, or at least 99.9% of the time. You know, like those germs, the soap commercials kills 99.9% of germs. Well, this kills 99.9% of bad golf shots. The simple thing I want you to think about that will transform your ball striking is right here on the ground. I've got this ball. We're gonna change where we look, and it will change where the club comes into the ground. I got a ball here that I'm gonna hit. I've got a ball here for my eyes. If you focus on this spot out in front of the ball, you're going to strike it solid. Now, I want you to stay tuned because you've probably heard this before, but there's some other things you need to know before we go to just past this, because it always gets overlooked in golf. If I look out to here, I want you to think about passing a basketball or throwing a ball to that spot. And this isn't a basketball, but just giving the idea of right there with that trail arm, throwing that ball to that spot. This sensation, look at my arm getting straight after impact, is fixing 99.9% of your problems. Because a lot of times what's happening, you'll see golfers struggle. They throw the ball over here. When I get a club and I do that, watch this. If you can do this with your club too. Throw it out early. Oop, there's a chunk. Or oop, that's over the top. Or oop, there's me shortening up my arms and standing up. Ooh, slicing, that's not fun. But if I pass out in front, watch this. Whew, that motion. Whew. It's down and through. Whew. There's a nice crispy divot, and then look. Whew, I'm from the inside. Whew. That's that slice fixer right there. Now, this is what's often overlooked, is how much attention you pay to that trail arm. See, nobody thinks about the trail arm. The trail arm, my right arm is magic. Take this out of my swing, I have nothing. I don't have that. I have no power, and I sure as heck don't have that, because I just showed you. It has that much of an impact on your swing. So to automatically start changing it, we focus on that spot in front of the ball. I'm just gonna set up and throw that club at that ball at that spot. Whew. Nice. Didn't do a whole lot of thinking. Why? Because I'm just doing this right here. Pass the ball, and I hit the ground, nice little divot. I'm not looking for results here, I'm just looking for feel. Look at that after impact, once again. If you're not hitting solid shots doing this at first, it's okay, because you're making a change from the old, and the old wasn't working. Now this is gonna start working. And once I've got that feeling, get your handy dandy ball out again. I want you to change what you're thinking about. So yeah, the ball's there, but change the ball to a bullseye target. And we're gonna put 2 hands on the club now. And I want you to think about getting both arms to straight after impact, right here. Not before. Ooh, this is the kicker. 99% of the time, this right here. Ooh, and then 100% of the time, yes. Going from ooh to yes is as simple as that. There it is, pure strike. We can say that with certainty because it's the laws of physics and geometry at work. I bet you weren't expecting this to be the coolest 5 minutes of your life, because now you're gonna be hitting it solid all the time and you won't need to come to YouTube looking for golf tips. So then we set up with the ball, and I think about the same thing. What am I gonna do? As I get in the downswing, I'm gonna pass the ball forward. Throw that ball. Harder you throw it, the farther it goes. Oh, that was torched. Works with every club in the bag. But that was torched. Say goodbye to that golf ball. I heard somebody say one time, they hit a ball and it was so good, they said, that was a peach. Now, got me thinking, you know, that was a peach. Let's do it again. Hey, do you want to see another one?
Yes, get over there!
Okay, we'll do it again. All right, passing it forward. Take one down, pass it around. 99,000 pure golf shots on the wall. The percentage of striking a good golf shot goes up so much when you do this. I'm not throwing it away, I'm throwing it down and through. 99,000 golf shots on the wall, 99,000 golf shots. Take one down, pass it around to you Seguto golfers. 90, what's the count up? 100,000 golf shots on the wall. Hey, and there's like 270,000 subscribers on this channel, so if you go out and do this right now, I want you to comment below so that you hit the 270,000th ball. If we all just hit one like that, we would have benefited the world in ways that nobody else could. We had 270,000 pure golf shots hit in a single day. World record. They would write it in history books and it'd be the greatest day. That's great, but there's something that can really train this that's even better, and I've been really getting on a kick with this as my own practice tool. Check this out. This happy thing right here is the straight stick, and it will annihilate the golf ball, get you feeling pure contact. Here's what I love about it. You can change your grip with it, so you adjust it to your grip. I got it set to neutral right now. It's got a molded grip, and I can also set it to my swing speed. Now this is important for compression. There's a little clicker in here. Hear that? Make a song out of it. This clicker is the compressor. Whoosh, whoosh. When you hear the click, it means that you're throwing the club down and through the ball. So I have to hear the click out in front. I don't hear the click behind me. If you're a bad ball striker, I hear it back here. But if I strike it well and I throw the hands forward, you're gonna hear this click. It's right there. That forces good impact. If I'm getting the click, then you can say that you are getting correct impact position. So we just set up, and I don't have to think too much because my grip's already preset. I'm just gonna focus on throwing that club down and through. There it is again. That click is so audible. That's not just from the club striking the ground. It's from eviscerating the golf ball. Is that even a word? Sounds cool for sure. There it is again. So I'm hearing this click, way more audible. Yeah, you'll hear one after impact if you flip a little bit, but it's nowhere as loud as those ones I'm striping. See, it only works when you stripe it. It only sounds really good when you stripe it. And they call it the straight stick because when I swing, it automatically gets you hitting straight. There's some magic in here. The designer, he's designed clubs for the pros. He figured out a way for the amateur golfers to just swing a club, hit it straight, then pick up their club and hit it straight. So I got you a link to this in the comments description below. Check it out. It will help you play a lot better golf, get the feeling of what we're doing here. But then we go back to our club, and I've all of a sudden got this, I've got this straight stick feeling, this unbeatable feeling of that clack after impact. I'm even gonna make an audible clack here. That's the feeling. That's satisfying. I can't imagine playing golf without that. That's called misery. No, that's not why we play. Throwing it down, through, it's always pure. It's always pure. It does kind of get you a little emotional, like, if only the golf world, if only one golfer at a time could just do this, the world would be so much better. That's what's going on in my Saguto.golf online golf school. You just go in and you learn this step by step. I was getting such great results with students here in South Carolina. I made this school because everybody deserves to feel this. It shouldn't just be kept in a treasure chest. You deserve this. You play golf because you want that. Oh my goodness, that was mashed. There doesn't have to be a locked away treasure chest for everybody where their golf swing secret is tucked away at the bottom of the ocean in the deepest trench of the ocean. No, the secrets are not there. It's just in these things that if you learn these things, you'll be so much better at golf. You'll be an exceptional golfer. So Seguto golfers, thanks for tuning in this week. You know what to do. stripe that shot. Let me know in the comments below, did you stripe one? And we will have 270,000 striped golf shots. And then if you want to join the Saguto Golf team, just subscribe to the channel and you'll be part of it. Just comment and say, I striped one on this day. I'm a Saguto golfer and I'm lighting it up and having more fun. Thanks again. See you in a future video. There's one simple change you can make to see an immediate improvement in your ball striking, and nobody's teaching it. Nobody's teaching this gold. And when you do what I'm talking about today, you're going to see automatic ball striking just like a pro. It doesn't matter what your ability is, if you can master this one concept, make this small change, you will be a great ball striker. We're talking about the concept of weight shift. Now, so many golfers are taught from birth practically that they need to work on shifting their weight in the golf swing into their trail side for power. But this creates a huge problem, and that's why I say so many golfers have this issue. Contact is compromised when you shift your weight. Just check this out right here. As I start making a weight shift, see my hips moving a little bit here? I'm moving more weight into this leg. My body starts swaying. And this is why you have a hard time striking your irons. No matter how much you shift, even a little shift off the ball will result in inconsistency for you. So whether it's 1 inch or 5 inches off the ball, your contact point moves in the direction of the shift. So check this out. I'm going to swing without a shift first. Keep my lead arm straight, my weight centered. There's my contact point. There's my contact point. Number one fundamental in golf. You've got to master that. If you don't master that, you are not going to play golf at a high level. So when I start shifting, watch what happens to this contact point. I'm sorry, ground. I'm sorry, club. Shift. There's my contact point. Shift. There's my contact point. Shift. There's my contact point. There's no consistency with where the club comes into the ground. In fact, if I shift and I stay back, I'm always going to hit behind the ball. Now, this is a comforting thing for one reason, because it gives us certainty in a game of craziness. So you think about golf being this really inconsistent game that only a few people can play well. That's not true. You can hit the ball really well right now when you eliminate weight shift from your game. Shifting is going to lead to destruction. But the one thing that you need to play great golf is eliminate the shift and replace it with rotating, pivoting. So we're going to focus on our weight staying forward. When I keep my weight forward, just staying centered like this, there's my contact point, always. And then when I try and do this in the swing, there is a really good chance of me taking ball first and a divot after. And there wasn't a whole lot of thinking in that, wasn't there? It was pretty simple. Golf gets far too hard when we try and do all this shifting and lifting. And the shift, I don't know where it came from, but this idea of shifting, it feels powerful, right? I feel like I'm loading up on my right side. Yeah, I feel powerful, but this creates a lot of issues. So we're going to talk about some of the issues with shifting weight. The first issue is, one, contact. I just told you about that. The second issue is it's not body friendly and it robs you of crucial power. So the power that you could have in the golf swing, you'll get that by keeping the weight forward. And we're going to talk about that in a bit, but as I shift into this side, it keeps my right leg locked. And when this leg stays flexed, the longer it stays flexed, oh my goodness, these hips don't lie. Shakira said that. They don't lie. They're not turning. So I start doing this little sway dance. This leg locks, my hips don't turn. I can't swing back far. I'm kind of limited to this all-arm swing. So I see this all the time. Most golfers will break their arms down and then they'll chop into the ball. So that's like almost every golfer I see has an issue with either swaying, they're not getting enough turn, their arms are breaking down, you're not getting enough power, you name it. It's all coming back to this. You start with a shift and it's going to end in pain. So since my body's restricted here, think a la X Factor, keeping everything really restricted. This lower half is locked against a upper half. Now my lower back gets stressed, my knee gets stressed, and my hips aren't turning. So you're looking at creating potential back surgery down the road if you haven't already. Here, this is knee surgery, hip surgery, back surgery. It's almost guaranteed to happen because I teach golfers who are like 75 all the time. They say, Tom, I had surgery in my knee, I had surgery in my back, I had surgery in my hip. But the second they learn to get the weight forward, it changes. Watch this. Weight forward swing. my body is freed up to make this motion. My body is allowed to turn. The beauty of weight forward, aside from contact being amazing, that feels great. If I think about my front side just being a post and everything rotates around it, it's like a peg in the ground, it doesn't move. Boom, my hips can turn around the front side. So that's a bigger hip turn. That means more power without working. Yeah, and then no sway. So there's no restriction. I don't want you to feel like you're all bound up. I mean, that's kind of a weird way to put it, bound up, but the whole idea is instead of being bound or restricted, free yourself from golfing anxiety. Just keep the weight forward, swing. And I love this. I love teaching this part because this will get you rocketing the ball like you wouldn't believe. And it works with all the clubs in the bag, driver too. You just want to focus on staying centered. Look at my head. My head, you could drop a pin on my head. It should stay in the same place throughout the swing. That enables me to hit ball first, take a divot every single time. And this is what you need to master. In fact, I got a free mini course, go.saguto.golf. It shows you the 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. And there's so many great drills that come along with that. So go check it out in the link in the description below. It's going to help you play the best golf of your life. Moving forward with this weight, I know it sounds like a shock to most of you because your whole life you've been told that we have to shift back and we got to shift through. So what do we do now? What do we do now if the weight's forward? Oh, Tom, well, you're going to hit the ball low, you're going to hit the ball shorter, and you're going to hit down too much. Well, these divots aren't that deep. They're normal divots. They're nice bacon strips. They're not pork chops. And another thing that happens with this weight, it's already set forward. I don't have to think about my downswing. The hips, look at them, like they're firing, like on their own. Crack. It is downright highway robbery. You feel like you're in that heist van and you're getting away with all the goods and there's no cops. Like you did it flawlessly. I went through all the lasers of shifting weight and I hit all the lasers and I got screwed. I can't make a good swing when I shift. I have to time. I hate having to time because I don't have the time to time. Neither do you. Neither do you. You don't have time to time. When we golf, we go out to have fun and we got our lives here. We got things we do with our life. Like I like to play guitar. I don't have time to time. There's just no time. There's time for that. I make time for that when I go to the golf course. So Saguto golfers, shifting is dead. You're gonna get more power, more consistency, more fun by just thinking about a front post of golf swing. You do that, you're gonna love it. Like the guy in Men's Warehouse, you're gonna like the way you swing. I guarantee it. Like, that's the whole thing. Life is too short to play bad golf. So I'll see you in the next episode. Y'all have an awesome week. I've got a really simple tip that is going to absolutely get you mashing the golf ball shot after shot. And it's one of the best things you can do anywhere. You can train good impact from anywhere with this simple tip. So you're going to learn how to hit the ball first and take a nice crispy divot in front of it. That feels great. You can tell the ball mashed against the center of the club face. That's what you want. That's why we play golf. So the secret to doing this is telling your hands to work the right way at and through impact. Impact, the point where the club strikes the ball, the moment of truth. So good impact looks like this. Hands leading the golf ball, hands ahead, weight forward. Most amateur golfers do the opposite. This is why you're so inconsistent. Weight back, and usually the hands are scooping or flipping or turning. The hands are just very active. So we've got to do something with the hands, change your program to get you being super consistent. And that key is this. We're doing nothing with the hands. I want you to, instead of turning them over or scooping them, a lot of activity there means a lot of variables there. So a lot here, a lot there. I don't like that. I want one result, crispy, every single time. You can do that too. So when I set up near this ball Good impact is here. Now we take those hands, we move them through impact like this. The arms are straight. The club face is not turning over so much. Take the club and get rid of it for a second. You need to feel this first. Hold your arms straight out in front of you, get into your setup. You should be able to clap your hands together. It's like you're holding a volleyball or a basketball. And you're going to move these hands through impact like this. So no windshield wipers, no turning of the hands, no scooping or windshield wiping. None of that. Just take that basketball, move it towards the target. When you get to this position, you should be able to clap your hands. Your trail palm is angled towards the sky, so that's your right hand palm for the right hand player. Your lead hand palm angled down towards the ground. They're parallel lines. So I didn't turn the hands over. I didn't scoop. I just kept them moving forward. This will change your ball striking immediately, because you're not doing all this activity. What you find is if you do the same move with the club in your hands, the club drags along the ground. You take a divot in front of the ball. Yeah, you can see that divot right there. I'm scraping this grass, mashed potatoes right there through, and my hands are still in that same position. So I've got one point of contact, and it's in front of the ball every single time. Divot in front of the ball, not at or behind the ball, always in front for solid contact. The best ball strikers are always doing this. Here's the drill. Go ahead and set up to an imaginary ball first. We're basically going to do this with a club. That through there. Drag that club along the ground and through to here. Look what the club's doing. No rolling of the hands. The club face looks like this. When you do this incorrectly, you have either a scoop or, and that's a flip, or a roll. So you see the club face is now really closed, or the toe of the club is either vertical or pointed more closed than that. But when you do this correctly, club face angles a little bit differently, doesn't it? It's like the club face angles slightly to the sky, not horizontal or at the ground. So now you've got this feeling, dragging that club along the ground. Just go set up to the ball, do the same thing. Drag it through with the ball there. When you finish, check out your position. Is that club face in a good position? Yes. I can still clap my hands together. They're still parallel. They didn't turn over. No windshield wipers. Do the same thing again with another ball. I don't care where the ball goes. I just want you to get the sensation of what it's like to drag the club through impact with good form. There. Nice. Now note that I'm not doing flipping or scooping, nothing with the hands. I'm just moving the shoulders through the shot, hitting through the shot. Here's what happens if I flip. Oh, I gotta go pick up that ball now, that's frustrating. I almost missed the net. Here's what happens if I roll my hands over. Try to be active. There's actually not a lot of power in flipping or rolling the hands over. You can tell I get more power. I get way more power accelerating through the shot with that. I can feel it. Energy's going that way. Now that you've done this awesome little drill that you can do anywhere, we set up with the ball and we try and recreate this same sensation. So drill it like this, drag the club through the grass, and then hit one. Really short chip shot, powerful chip shot. Some of those chips could go 50 or 70 yards because you hit them so solid. Let's do it again. Drag through, hit one. Woo! I love that feeling. That never gets old. Doesn't matter what shot you're hitting. That nice crack off the club. By the way, I've got a free mini course, go.saguto.golf. Learn the top 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. Go check it out. It's in the link in comments below. So as we've built this good fundamental, impact, #1 fundamental in golf, we need to now make a bigger swing. But only move forward once you're able to hit solid golf shots 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or 10 out of 10 times. Because you need to master this. Once you've done that, it's time to graduate. It's the same thing. Take the club back, and as you're swinging through, we're dragging through the shot. You know, it kind of reminds me of a hockey player. I don't play hockey, but I know when they hit the ground with the stick, they're actually hitting the ground and then flicking the puck. Well, to me, it's almost like the club's hitting the ground and dragging through. So it's like hockey in a way. Let's graduate up into a 3/4 or fuller swing. So you take the club back further, dragging it along the ground. There we go. Swing. That's awesome. So I really was exaggerating, keeping the arms straight and extended through the shot. I felt the club gripping that ball, mashing it and sending it to the target. My hands were really quiet. I'm training solid impact. And we do it again because that's fun. That's fun. Let's swing. Nice strike again. Ball first, divot. Dragging that club along the ground and through the shot. And if you're hitting the ball so much more solid, comment below and tell us about it. I'd love to hear how this drill's working out for you. So then we get to the driver. You do this with the driver, yes. The rules do not change with the big dog. It's the same fundamentals. You still hit through the ball. You still have to hit through it. You still got to keep your arms straight. Weight's got to stay forward. Let's just do it because it's fun. You don't need to necessarily drag the club along the ground, but that's what it's going to be like through impact. Full extension of the arms. You're going to hit the ball so much more solid doing this through the bag. So we set up and we do that. A murderous cut. That sounds like artillery. Whoosh, just blasting away. That ball might land in the next county over there. Then we do it again because that felt great. Through it, go through it. The only way out is through. Woo! That just feels amazing. That feeling of the ball in the center of the face. I can't hear anymore because that's so loud too. Ball in the center of the face is mashed. Mashed potatoes. So Saguto golfers, you know what to do. Train solid impact. If you're looking for a way to play your best golf right now, check out my online golf school, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program designed to help you play the best golf of your life right now. Life's far too short to play bad golf. So start playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. If I could only give you one tip that would dramatically improve your ball striking right now, it would be this one. Tucking your trail arm as close as you can into your body. There's so much magic to doing this. It's going to fix your slice, it's going to fix your woods, your irons, everything. Bad contact, you name it. When you get that arm in close to your body, it tells your golf swing to make great ball striking happen. Shot after shot. Oh, that feels good. And I didn't do a whole lot of thinking because I'm talking to you on camera. Be able to swing like that and hit a shot like that, you know, most of the time you'd think it'd take 7,000 swing thoughts. But no, all I did was set this in and forget it. So why is this arm so magical? Well, for one, it stores power. So when you fold this arm I'm fully loaded here, and then I explode this power on the golf ball. For 2, it gets the wrist hinging without thinking. Look at that right there. Sometimes golfers try and keep their arms too straight. They don't get it tucked in. They don't get any wrist hinge. 3, takes care of the backswing. Got it tucked in, backswing takes the proper path. If it flies away, well, I don't know where these arms are going to go. You don't know where the club's going to go, so you don't know where the ball is going to go. 4, downswing. Keeping it tucked in, club goes on the proper path into the golf ball. If it flies away, club goes over the top. Steep. How many of you deal with that problem? I'm sure there's quite a few dealing with the slice issue. So we could end this whole problem today by just getting this arm tucked in. And lastly, the flips. Well, if you're flipping these hands through impact, my arm has to disconnect from my body to do that. If I just keep it in, boom, boom, there's the shaft lean. That stuff you're trying to get by doing all these superhuman moves, you don't have to, just keep it tucked in. Boom. So what do? You tuck the elbow in, and I'm saying elbow, not just arm. I'm talking this right here in as much as you can towards the target. You're gonna connect your arm against your side. When you do that, it's probably gonna feel pretty weird at first. Now I'm super glued. Now as you swing, you just keep that super glue in there. So I'm going to do my shoulder turn. And I'm going to do my shoulder turn back to the golf ball. It's like I'm trying to keep an L shape in my arm the entire way. And by doing that, the club will respond beautifully. All the pieces of the swing will happen the way you want them to. And you don't believe me, try it right now. You should be doing it right now. What are you waiting for? This is going to change your life. Once you got it glued in, keep it in. Don't change it. We're going to hit some short shots first, keeping this glued in. Beautiful strike. Ball just explodes off the face, and there goes 100 yards. Barely touched it. That's what makes golf fun. We're not working too hard, and the ball is just exploding through impact. So I'm going to take it up a little bit further here. Let's tuck it in even more. That was fun. So much fun, we'll do it again. There we go. Another good strike. That one went past the 150. And it's like swinging a feather, just nothing, because the arm is doing the work for you. So we're going to keep it tucked in here, and we're going to build it up then to a fuller swing. And even at the top of the backswing, I'm still feeling this as much as I can. And even when I start my downswing, I'm still feeling this as much as I can. I'm not changing it more. I'm not losing it. Never. Don't lose it. Keep it in. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Another good sounding strike. Kept the arm in, and the ball just exploded down there towards my target. I love this because it's so simple. As humans, we overcomplicate the swing, but we don't have to. Keep the arm in and send it. Makes you want to hit more golf balls. Kind of got that golf addiction going. There it goes again. That's awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to be a new golfer because you went from elbow out to elbow in. And it's not going to take weeks. It's going to be instant. It's going to be like 5 minutes and you're a new golfer. There it goes again. Whew. Doesn't get any better than that. Another place we're going to see a huge benefit with this is with the woods, and especially off the turf. You won't be chunking behind it or topping it. You'll be mashing it. Just keep it in. A lot of people with the woods get a little bit too over the top. And they flip at it, and the ball doesn't go where they want it to. So what you got to do, just keep the elbow in. Never let it go. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Keep that elbow in and smoke it. That's what I'm talking about. That just sounded great. That was zero effort too. Zero. And it's a hero. Just like that Greek food, I love that stuff. Freshly cut mutton. Or veal, not mutton. Get the veal. Oh, that was flonged. You just feel the club face collect the ball and it explodes. And look, I'm getting a little bit of dirt there. So I'm hitting it right on el centro of the club face. Whew. That is why we play golf. Doesn't get any better. In. You gotta be in to be in the club. There it is again, same spot. Works with the driver too. Can't hit driver today. Driving range is kind of capped at 280 and I don't want to hit all these people over there. We don't want to call in that artillery strike. All right, send it. Oh, that was free feeling. You have more confidence in your swing too when you're doing this because you feel like you can go at it. Now, I'm not trying to go rush into it. I'm just letting the swing happen. Shoulders back, shoulders through, and keep this glued in. Now, that's what's going on in my online golf school, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program that gets you doing this stuff shot after shot. Elbow is part of the equation, but there's a few other pieces you need to know to start building up this machine. This will get you started though. It's great. Keep it in and then send it. Oh my goodness, it does not get any better. Oh, sit down. Okay, thank goodness these are range balls. It's getting a little close to the people on the other side, so we're gonna put this down before the cops get called. And we're just gonna go back to my iron, yes. Back to the iron. It's going down there and, oh, thank goodness it's a range ball. It's getting close though. All right, what are we doing again? We're keeping the elbow tucked in. Why? Because it's fun. Why? Because it makes golf worth playing. Golf is life. There we go. Oh. We could do this all day. You don't have to be a pro to start feeling that. You just have to tuck the elbow in. If I got my elbow out, you would not be seeing strikes like that. You'd be seeing duff central, just duff, duff, left, right, left, right. No, tuck it in, straight, 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 little baby draw, tons of power. So thanks for tuning in today. Get that arm tucked in. Check out SagutoGolf. You'll start playing the best golf of your life right now in a simplified program, and I'll see you in a future episode. Breaking it in. There is one thing you can do right now to dramatically improve every aspect of your golf game. And this simple tweak right here is going to make you a much better ball striker. We're talking about getting connected today and why connection is so important. Connection is just simply this, getting your arms glued to your body. Now, some of the greatest ball strikers of all time, like Ben Hogan, for example, emphasize connection in the golf swing, getting this connection in here because it helps you be a consistent golfer. Just look at what this does in the golf swing. So if I want to be consistent, I want to take the club back and through the same way every single time. So that means backswing and downswing pretty much on the same path. And if I can do that, I'm going to hit the ball so well, I'm going to love this game. That had a really nice sound to it. These irons, wow. So you're watching that swing right there as I take the club back. You can see that my lead arm is glued to my side and my pec there, and my trail arm is glued against my side here. And I'm trying to keep this glue throughout the entire golf swing to give me the same backswing every time. But there's also a beauty of getting this in the downswing. You're gonna love this part. If I keep the glue, I got my Gorilla Glue right here, stuck, now I can't move this arm. Great guys, now I can't film the rest of the day. You didn't warn me about that. If I start down, keeping the glue, watch this. The club traces magically back on the same path to the ball. And this is what enables you to be ridiculously consistent as a ball striker. And you're going to be hitting it so clean, keeping the glue. That sounded good. So how do we keep this glue throughout the golf swing without taking Gorilla Glue and just get you stuck and you'll be like this all day? Well, it's so simple, and pros have been doing this for centuries. You just take a little bit of your shirt. I'm assuming you're wearing a shirt right now. We're going to just take it and tuck it in against your armpit. And when I do this, I get a little tucked in. I want to feel like I'm keeping that tucked in part of my shirt stuck against my body. Watch as I swing around my body here, keeping that glue. Boom, perfectly connected. Boom, perfectly connected. And another thing you should be feeling when you're doing this is that your body is starting to engage. So your swing is no longer this all arms. Your swing is not this float and fly away chicken wing thing. Ew. No, your swing is going to look immediately pro. Get it glued. I feel the shirt stuck in there. I swing my shoulders. Body works the way it should. The backswing, body works the way it should in the downswing. Now, it doesn't get any easier than that. If it was any easier, I don't have an analogy for that. I don't have an analogy for that. It just doesn't get any easier than that. So I just keep it glued, ready? Get the shirt in there. That took me all, what, 3 seconds? Colton, will you say 3 seconds? Yeah, he's saying about 3 seconds, like 2 seconds. I got it glued in, and then I just keep the glue. The shirt stays in. And there it flies. And it looks awesome. The ball is just destroyed. And then we do it again because that's so much fun. Get the glue, tuck it in, I set the glue, I swing the shoulders. Torched. Can I get an amen from the people in the back? Ball's going so long. It's insane. It's insane. Tell me a better 3-second tip to improve your game. I don't know of any because this gets the whole swing working. Let's just do it again. This one may have worked too well. I shouldn't be telling you guys. Keep the connection. Send it. That was a peach. The swing is just automatic when you get, so think of your connection like being automatic. You're just setting machine. So here's a little bonus tip for you. When you get connected, you got the glue in here. This glue doesn't change. The lead arm, you got this glued against your side. This doesn't change. One other thing you shouldn't change, your lead arm. If you want to strike a beautiful divot in front of the ball every single time, just keep this arm straight with the glue. And then you see the shoulders magically move the club around the body on that same path, back and through, enabling me to strike on the center of the club face every single time, and enabling a nice crispy KFC divot right there, time and time again. It's the best feeling in golf. You'd swear it's cheating. So all we do is get connected. What are you guys going to do? You're going to get connected. We'll glue the shirt in. I keep the shirt in, and then I swing. That feels really good. What do you guys think about the sound of that? Is that something else? Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is so simple. My video team's probably thinking, Tom, you got a better script than this? This is about the worst script I've ever heard. There's no script. There's just pure ball striking. So this is what's going on. I got a free mini course that shows you how to do this step by step. There's a few other things you need to do. Check it out, go.saguto.golf. It'll help you learn the top 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. And there's tons of drills I just put in there to help you perfect hitting the ball and launching it to your target with that same sensation. Now here's another gold nugget to take with you in your ball striking. One of the big bonuses of keeping this glue in here, this Gorilla Glue against your side, is that it prevents you from flipping. You know, this disease where you're swinging into impact, everything disconnects, and then you're just doing this, and it's basically a top shot, a thin shot, it's a low roller, and there's no power. It's the most unsatisfying shot in golf. Well, this connection forces you to get the club into this position right here, parallel to the ground. The trail arm is still tucked in and glued against my body. Look at that glue. That's outrageous. It's the same as it was at setup. I've got it so glued, and as I swing into impact, keep the shoulders moving. Boom, there's the ground. Boom, there's the ground. Boom, there's, you see how the consistency of hitting the ground goes up 1,000,000% versus if you're sitting here disconnecting and flipping, I have no idea where the club's coming to the ground. It might not even hit the ground. Chunk, duff, whiff, then just want to quick golf through your clubs in that pond. No, unsatisfying. So keeping the glue, boom. Keeping the glue, boom. And you'd swear it's magic because it happens every single time we do this. Keep the shirt in. One last big bonus. How many bonuses? Everything's a bonus about this. It's like 3 seconds, and then I collect all the winnings from the lottery. Just fill out the form, and we'll give you $1 billion. That's really what it feels like. So I keep the tucked in arm, the downswing. It never goes over the top. Ooh. Look, that's disconnect. Disconnect. Never gets wide. Keeping it in, stays tucked, and the club stays shallow. It never goes over, it never goes down, it never goes flipping. You just gotta love it. So I'm gonna go in and collect my $1 million now, if you don't mind. Let's collect. Cashing checks. Let's collect my second. We're gonna fill out the second form. Oh yes, I would like to fill out another form for $1 billion worth of golf shots, please. Yes, keep it tucked. That's outrageous contact. You hear that sound, it's like whoosh, whoosh. Keeps the glue. He swings the shoulders. Oh, that's lovely. It is going to be a great day. So go out there. Be connected. And you are going to play the best golf of your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future episode. One of the easiest ways for you to get better at golf right now, and it's so simple, is to think about your shoulder. I've used this tip with countless students, and they see an immediate improvement in their ball striking. The feeling of great ball striking will happen when you focus on getting your front shoulder pointing down at the ball. And the sound is incredible. That is like Van Halen's eruption. That's why we play golf. And a lot of golfers are missing this gold mine in the golf swing because you've always been told to turn. Everybody's focusing on getting a big turn in the golf swing. And what's missing is the importance of tilting. So when I talk about tilting, I mean when you're standing over the ball, you've got to keep your body's relationship. So I've got a relationship to the ball at setup, and everybody looks like getting a good posture here, right? You got this tilt towards the ground. We need to maintain that tilt. If at any point I lose my tilt, so I start standing up in the golf swing, and I hear this all the time, I'm standing up. How do I stop standing up? The way you stop standing up is you focus on creating tilt. And so the best swing thought for you, and you should just do this one when you go play golf, you don't even have to practice it for maybe a couple minutes a day, is to think about getting your front shoulder pointing at the ball. Arnold Palmer talked about doing this one. This one helped him. It was one of his favorite swing thoughts. So what happens when I think about pointing my shoulder at the ball? Well, the shoulder, pointing it down at the ball, shoulder gets down. There's my tilt. That relationship to the ground is going to enable me to always strike the ground at a spot in front of the ball. And what happens when I don't get that shoulder down, standing up, or if this shoulder even levels a little bit, I'm going to hit a bad shot. I'm sorry, club, I don't want to do this. Oh my goodness, I lost my relationship to the ball. I'm sorry. Never happen again. But when I get that shoulder down, I will find the ground. And it's the best poem in golf. Shoulder down to find the ground. Left shoulder at the ball. I'm going to point the front shoulder down. Down, down, down. There it is. Just keep going down with it. Get down on it. It's really amazing. So many swing thoughts in people's minds nowadays. If they just thought about pointing the shoulder at the ball, You'd be a happy golfer if you just tried to do this. Shoulder down, 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 down. There it is again. Smoking. Whoosh. And there's sizzle on it too. I want bacon, eggs, and a side of 2 pancakes with that. If they ask you, do you want fries with that golf shot? You say yes. And I want a side of front shoulder going down. Not thinking too much. So when you go out and play your round, I just want you to think it, just eliminate every swing thought. Instead of all these thought bubbles all around you, surrounding you, all these swing demons attacking you throughout the day, you could eliminate all of them, exercise all of them just by getting your front shoulder down. I replace all those bubbles and then drop in the thought of front shoulder down. So I just keep going down, down, down. Like that blues song. We're going down, down. Is that even the lyrics? You know if that's the lyrics? I mean, I don't care about the lyrics as much as I care about that golf shot. You know, does this work with the driver? I get this one a lot. Hey, that's great with the irons, Tom, but does it do anything with the woods and the driver? Well, let's just find out so we don't have to worry about it. Get the driver out, get the woods out. You know what? I shouldn't be hitting driver because this range is kind of short. Last thing I need is a lawsuit from hitting someone on the other side of the range. So we'll just pretend we have a driver. 3-wood. Still fun. It goes long, it's far, it's great. So what am I doing? Shoulder down. Now, when you stand over a 3-wood, when I do shoulder down, you'll see with a 3-wood, I'm here, I'm more level, but with a 9-iron or something, I'd be more like this, or wedge. So you see there's more tilt with a wedge versus a wood or a driver. So I naturally have less tilt, but I'm still going to think the same thing, shoulder at the ball. It's universal. It's a beautiful thing. 3-wood off the deck, here we do. Left shoulder at the ball. Oh, that was flonged. Can we do it again? Probably. Why? Because if you keep a relationship to the ball, life is good. In fact, that's what's going on in my Saguto.golf online golf school. People learn how to do this with all the clubs in their bag. The best feeling in golf. Life is too short to play bad golf. So let's just send it. We should spend our time sending it. Oh man, that was awesome. What else do you want with your life? So if you point your shoulder at the ball, you're going to hit more fairways. You're going to feel that sensation. You're going to hit more greens. You know what that means? The scores will do this. Woo! They start nosediving. You'll go from shooting in the hundreds or the 90s, all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and you're in the 70s or the 80s. It's that powerful. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you in a future episode. What makes a consistent golfer? A consistent golfer is someone who hits the same type of golf shot time after time. Now I'm talking about hitting it right down the middle with a nice crispy divot. You get over the ball, you don't do a whole lot of thinking, you swing, and you stripe one. And that is what we're after for in golf. A beautiful feeling golf shot. The way you do that, and the way I teach my students to get this feeling, time and time again, is just 2 things. And the drill that I'm going to show you today will get you experiencing that feeling. So the first thing we have to look at is creating consistent contact. The number one thing I'll teach my students to get consistent contact, and this is a little mind-blowing here because it goes against the grain of what you've probably heard in golf instruction. But I want you to think about getting your weight forward. So we're talking about putting some more weight on the front leg. Setting the weight directly impacts your contact point with the ball. So think about it this way. Wherever I place my weight, my contact point is going to go. So weight forward, contact point forward on the ground. You see the club is coming into the ground in front of that golf ball right there. There's a beautiful divot, crispier than KFC. But if I ever shifted my weight in the golf swing, or I stay back, and I see a lot of golfers, a lot of you are hanging back. If you're falling back and staying back here, you're almost always going to hit behind the ball. And a lot of times you run into the scooping and the flipping and the slicing, that chucking your clubs into the pond feeling. We don't like that. So we're going to set more weight on the front side towards the target. Automatically doing this in your golf swing will improve the ball striking and you'll start dropping shots right away. So just check this out. I'm going to set the weight forward and just make some swings with my shoulders. Weight forward here. Let's go. Oh, that was saucy. I didn't even think much about that. And it just exploded off into the distance. I wonder if we can do that again. Let's just see. It was right in the middle too. That felt great. So I'm just going to set it. Whoop. Keep it there. Don't do anything. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Did it again. And a lot of golfers, they'll say, I just want to be more consistent. Well, the consistency problem is that you're shifting too much. You're either shifting or swaying around, and you need to stay centered. So the first part about staying centered, weight forward. My students are blown away because I'll lock their weight forward like this. I'll say, hey, you can't go right. You can't go off the ball. You can't even move in this direction. So you got this wall set up. You're like chained to this wall. I tell my students, you cannot rip off the wall. In fact, if you're chained to it, I can't get off it. So you're stuck against this wall and you're going to make a swing. Oh, there it is again. That is why we play golf. So then my students start getting really crispy contact with the ball just from that alone. You know some other things that happen? You're getting more power. It's feeling great. You want to play more golf. You get more power because you can only rotate. You know, a lot of people talk about, I can't rotate either. Well, you can't rotate because you're shifting. You can't rotate when you're flexed or you're shifting or swaying. You can rotate though if the weight's forward. Standing against that wall. There's more hip turn, there's more shoulder turn. I don't have to go to the gym to get that. I don't have to lift 400 pounds or go see a psychiatrist or a therapist. I mean like a physical therapist, you know. I need some mental help right about now. I'm sweating. You all know that it's like 95 degrees outside. So the next thing I'll tell them after they got this beautiful rotation and the weight's forward, just keep the lead arm straight. And when you do this, contact is guaranteed. So look at this. If the lead arm stays straight, the weight's forward, there's my contact point right there. I can't make this up. Like, this is not a gimmick. It just sounds so easy, but it really is that simple. Keep the arm straight. If the arm breaks down, oh man, it's gonna be a long day. Arm breaks down, I gotta straighten it somewhere. Oh, now I'm digging holes. So keeping the arm straight, keeping the weight forward allows for a consistent contact point. I'm just gonna demonstrate weight forward, arm straight right here. Just keeping one arm. And that's the beauty of it. How much effort? Zero. Contact point maintained, same contact point. Works with every club in the bag. Now, of course, you don't take divots with your driver, but the idea is you have the same contact point with every club. There's the weight, set it, forget it. It's like you're a machine. And that's what you want in golf. In fact, that's what I'm teaching in my SagutoGolf online golf school. You're learning a step-by-step program to make yourself a ball striking machine. This is a big part of the program, learning to do this. Because without this, you can't do anything in golf. You gotta hit it solid first. So you can check it out in the link in the description below, SagutoGolf. Life's just too short to play bad golf. So we got the arm straight, we got the weight for it. I'm just gonna set it. I'm exaggerating here because I want you to get the sensation. There's the ball and chain to the wall. Whoosh. And I'm gonna keep the lead arm straight. And there it is again. Look at that lovely divot pile. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was playing questionable golf, like if I was there and topping it, ball's going all over the place, I wouldn't want to play a lot. But if I was doing that, I'd want to play every day. And you can do that. Two things, wall and then shoulders with the lead arm straight. There it goes again. You'd swear it's magic, but it's just the beauty of physics and geometry. Wow. Hey, what do you guys think about that? You think it's pretty good? Yeah. My film crews, they can talk. I mean, they're not quite mute, but we're warming them up. They're like, yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I was thinking of breaking them in. I was gonna get one of my guys out here to just try this out. You know what, Colton, get over here. Colton doesn't play golf. He's played one round of golf. I've ever seen him play one round of golf. He dressed, he looked the part. He was in golf knickers and the full old school hat. He looked cool, but he never really swung a club. So I'm gonna start him out with this. We'll get him a club. Your hand's a little sweaty?
A little bit.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. I want you to set up to this golf ball. Just pretend like you're gonna hit it. All right, I'm gonna set him into the wall, and I'm gonna keep his arms straight. But before we hit the ball, we gotta do a couple things. So the ball, I just tricked you. I said we were gonna hit a ball, we're not. We're not yet. So go ahead and imagine the ball's there. Two things, we're gonna set the wall. So weight forward. And then I'm gonna get his lead arm straight. So it's set up a little bit more straight arms here. So elbows together, all right? Now the first thing, since he's a beginner, we're just gonna build contact. What we need to do, you're gonna keep this side with the weight on it. You're gonna keep this arm straight. I'm just gonna demonstrate here. Keep that arm straight, keep it there, and there's a contact point. I'm gonna finish right about here. You see how the club's gonna come into the ground at that spot. I was a little behind it. So weight staying forward, I'm gonna tuck this arm a little bit in. There we go. Does it feel comfortable?
Yep.
It probably feels so weird. We give him the sensation of what it's like to have one contact point, right there. And so go ahead and do that without me helping you. Just keep this arm straight, the weight there, and then we're gonna tuck that arm in a little bit. Don't do anything else. Good, good. All right, let's do another one. Now your goal is to try and get the club to bottom out a spot right there. Focusing on that spot. Better. When you finish, have that club pointed a little bit more down, both arm elbows together right there. So he's working on arms straight. Never done this before. There it is. Good contact point. Do it again. Better. We're almost touching the ground with it now, right? He wasn't expecting this today. Beautiful. All right, let's do that one more time. Bet you can do that again. Almost. One more. Give me some elbows together right out here. Throwing that club down, elbows together. Bingo. Now he's got me all dirty. I got to put my clothes in the laundry. So, the moment of truth. I got him thinking there's so much pressure. There's like thousands of people watching this very moment. Things make this really difficult for you, right?
It does. Doesn't make it easy.
All right, so you're just gonna do the same thing you did with those practice swings, and just same short swing. We're just not doing anything too big yet.
Okay.
So setting the wall, a little bit more weight on the front, right there. That's it. That's it. Just same thing. Don't think about the ball. Just same swing. Did you see that?
I've never done that in my life.
You see that right there? It's like he's holding up a fish he just caught. You see this? Right on the center of the face. Never played golf. Zero experience. Hits it right on the middle. And that's the best feeling golf. How did that feel?
Felt pretty good, yeah.
Would you want to do that again?
I would.
Yeah, you would. I mean, that's why we play.
Life's too short.
It is too short to play bad
golf.
So he hit about 4 grooves up, 2 or 3 grooves right there. Nice collection of the ball in the center of the face. It can happen for you. It can happen for anybody just doing these 2 things. Dude, that was awesome. So he just hit the ball first and took a divot. Doesn't play golf. You'd swear it's magic, but it's not. This is a guy with 0 golf experience. So what does that tell you? It tells you that if we do the right things, like weight forward and arm straight, it will happen, Saguto golfers. It happens for anyone. It can happen for you just by doing these things. So thanks for tuning in today. Colton, you were an awesome student. I put him on the spot, so everybody give him a round of applause in the comments section right there. You'll be checking the comments later, I'm sure.
Maybe I'll play some golf now.
Y'all enjoy your week, and I'll be seeing you in a future episode.
Awesome.
Well
man.
done. I didn't expect that was going to
I
happen.
didn't expect to hit the ball. I was like, I'm about to defend this, and Tom's gonna be like, you gotta keep it in.
Just last week, I helped an 85-year-old man hit the best feeling golf shots of his life. He had been waiting 40 years of golf to feel great contact with the ball. I've got video of that in this episode. But what we're talking about today is something I see every day that's hurting golfers' golf swings. It's hurting your chance of making good contact. And let's just look at this for a second. What does this look like to you? You might say, hey, that's a baseball swing or maybe a tennis racket swing. So I'm hitting the ball that's on a level playing field, hitting the ball at the chest height. And that's what we're used to. A lot of us come from sports where we're used to swinging like this. Whether it's tennis, baseball, cricket, whatever you name it. I don't have any experience in cricket, by the way. The problem here is that when we get to golf and we want to play great golf, we try and take that same philosophy. We stand like this and we, oh shoot, I missed it. I topped it, I duffed it. So we get over it again. Let me try it again. Oh, that was a really romantic top. Wasn't that beautiful? And it's frustrating, it's hard. Then something we just throw our clubs in the lake, we give up, I'm done, I've had enough. And then it really is just something so simple. And this is where that 85-year-old was having issues. He was doing those beautiful duffs. Top, 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 And he was just like, hey Tom, what do I need to do to achieve ball striking bliss? And I said, well, watch your swing, you're up here. Your spine doesn't have any resemblance of a relationship to the ball. And so all I did was say, give me your front shoulder. He's like, okay, he lent it to me. I took it. And I pushed that thing down. I worked it down. He's like, you want me to do that? I said, yeah, that's where the gold mine is of beautiful ball striking. Getting that shoulder down, lead shoulder down. Why? Because we need to have a relationship with the golf ball if we want to hit it solid in the air with minimal effort and tons of power. See, we just started doing that. He does it right away, dipping the shoulder. He feels amazing contact, pushing that shoulder into the ground. And I was like, hey man, keep pushing it down. Keep going. He says, is this enough? Is this enough? I said, no, not enough. Is this enough? No, not there. I said, tap it like a 100-pound weight and shove it into the ground. Boom, there goes the bass drop. There goes the ball. Life is good. And in his first experience ever in 85 years of playing, or 85 years of living, and probably 40 plus years of playing, he felt a crispy golf shot. You know what happened? He did it again. He did it again. He started jumping up and down. And then there was a guy on the other side of the range who's like, what did you tell him? Because I've never seen a grown man so happy in his entire life. That's called a golf swing miracle that comes from tilt. So we're getting over the ball, we're pushing the shoulder into the ground. Life is really good because now all of a sudden, it's easier. It's easier to make solid contact with the ball. Everything is easier. The golf swing is easier. I see this every day. Now, some of you know you need to tilt because you've been on this channel, you've heard me talk about tilt. There is a strong chance you're not tilting enough because I will teach people in my online golf school, SagutoGolf, even though they know they need to tilt, it's when they learn how much they need to tilt that surprises them. They're not doing it enough. And once you start doing it enough, look at that. Look at that. Whew. Once you start doing it, everything opens up. You know, some people are concerned that they can't swing the golf club, they're not flexible enough. You start tilting, everything opens up. Watch this. Whoop. Look at that tilt. Whoop. But if I'm level, yeah, I can turn, but my back hurts because I'm stuck here. I'm kind of stuck if I'm trying to hit a ball down there. I can only hit a ball up here. My turning increases dramatically whoop, when I tilt. Because your whole body needs that relationship to the ground. Pushing that shoulder down. If you've got a buddy, I want you to phone a friend right now, say, hey man, I want you to come over right now. I've got chips and dip. We're gonna work on each other's golf swings. And you know that kind of chips and dip, like the taco dip with the sour cream and the beans, you know. It's so good with the cheese on top. Yeah, that kind of chips and dip with some tortillas. Yeah. You're gonna have that party set, maybe some buffalo wings too. Say, come on over. We're watching the SagutoGolf episode and he's telling me to tilt. He needs me to phone a friend. So you get your friend, hey, push my shoulder down so that like it's going to the ground. Boom. That's the tilt, pushing it down. And so many of you have more fun. Anyway, you're gonna have parties with your friends on, we'll call them tilt parties. Tilt parties to get our golf swings in shape. I don't have a friend with me right now, but if I did, I'd have him pushing that thing down so that I can play good golf. You would do this with every club in the bag, by the way. Another good shot. Once you start learning about the tilt, everything opens up, like for that 85-year-old guy. I don't want you to wait until it's too late. As far as, you can start playing great golf right now. You can start tilting right now. I don't want you to have to wait till later in life to learn tilt. I've had so many golfers say, man, I wish I knew this 30 years ago, 40 years ago, sometimes 50. The impact of tilt on your golf game is astronomical. And every great player tilts. It's undeniable. Because we have a tilted relationship to the ground, set at addressed, the golf swing naturally follows a tilted arc. So as I swing, I have to keep this club on this tilted arc, and the way I do it is I have to tilt my spine. At no point do you lose tilt, because that's when the uglies come back. That's when the uglies come back and get you. Oh no, oh no. It's a beautiful tilt. Beautiful top, beautiful top. It's a beautiful top. So we have to think about getting it down. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Really want to tilt. Get your back against the wall. Get your back off the wall. Get your back off the wall. Off the wall. I'm tilting. Tilting. You got to do it.
I keep hitting them right there.
Yeah, off the toe, huh?
Yeah, what's going on, man? But if I really get a good tilt, it doesn't do it as much.
Well, that's it. That's it.
I figured it out.
Here, check this out.
Yeah, wait.
That's tilt.
To this crunch, man.
Look at this, look at this.
Yeah, I know.
There.
Oh, God. But it does. It keeps creeping up when I do that. To here.
It gets back in the middle again. See, that's the KFC wagon right here. If you can get that thing down to that part of your chest, man.
Really?
Uh-huh. Now you know what it's like to get that shoulder down. That's a deep fryer. There it is. There's the magic sauce right there. Oh, there it is, getting it back. Oh, yes. Hey, Bill, don't think about the downswing. Just think about the tilt. Trying to pat your head, rub your tummy at the same time, it's tough. I'm working on one thing right now, and that's it. Yep, that's it. Because I'll start thinking too much. We want to get it all done right now, but it doesn't happen. So Bill behind me is starting to rip shots because I got him to take his shoulder down. It's amazing. He's just jumping up and down. There we go, slow. Oh, feels so good. It's the deep fryer, man. It's the deep fryer. Slow, slow, slow. That was so good. How about that? You hit the flag this time. Bet you can do it again.
Oh, another one right on there. Look at that.
That's why we play, Bill. Join the party. Nachos, sour cream, great dip, tortilla chips, tilt, parties everywhere. We're going to start lighting up the golf course. So, if you're looking for a way to play the best golf of your life, check out my website, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program teaching you exactly how to do all these things. To play great golf now. What are you waiting for? Life's far too short to play bad golf, so start playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. I look forward to seeing you in a future episode, and have an awesome week. Two easy moves. In just two really simple moves, you can take your ball striking to the next level. we're going to hit really crispy golf shots. The shots that get you coming back to play more golf. The shots that feel really solid on the center of the face. And who doesn't want that? That's why you're here on YouTube looking up golf tips. You want to play great golf. So what do we need to do to play great golf? Objective number one in the golf swing is to have the same point of contact every single time. You know that feeling of the club hitting the ball and then taking a nice divot after it? That's the feeling that we are so addicted to as golfers. You want to do that every single time, and that's what the pros do. The best ball strikers demonstrate that every single time. These two moves get you that feeling every single time. Why? Because it's proven to by science. I need two things to help me have this club come into the ground and strike the ground with a nice crispy divot every single time. And they are the weight staying on the front side and the lead arm staying straight. They're so simple, right? But hear me out. If I place some more weight forward, this helps me to keep my body over the ball for clean contact. You see, if I stay over the ball, this club is going to return to the same spot every time. And what I mean by over the ball is that my head's not shifting off the ball in either direction. So we're really keeping a steady head. And if you remember the recent episode I did with Jack Nicklaus, he mentioned keeping your head steady. One of the most important things ever in the golf swing, probably the most important thing for solid contact. And if you haven't seen that, go check out that episode. It's really powerful. So the weight forward piece is helping me keep my head in place. That club comes in the ground the same spot every time. Then magic piece number two, lead arm straight. This lead arm is what's going to control a lot of your consistency of contact. You see, if this arm stays straight, it's going to make you a robot. This club will have to return to that same spot every time. Think of a compass. You're drawing a perfect circle, like in geometry class. And you draw that perfect circle. That one arm can't change its length, right? Because you want the perfect circle. See, if the arm was changing its length, it'd be up here, maybe too long. Too long, you chunk it. Too short, you miss the ball. But if it's the same length every time, you have the same contact point every time. You've got the perfect circle being traced. So good contact will happen when you keep your weight forward, your head staying in place. So that's the weight forward piece over the ball, covering the ball. And then secondly, keeping that lead arm straight. So how do we do this? I've got a fantastic drill for you. We're just going to do it right here, right now, because we want this feeling right now. Just go ahead and set up and favor the front side with your weight. 55-45 is great. It could feel like 100. It could feel like 120. It could feel crazy on the front side. Once you've got that set, just take your lead arm, extend it to straight. Now this arm should never bend. The way you have it here, the length that it is right here, should be the same at the top and on the way through to here. That is critical. Look at my weight when I do that. The weight doesn't sway, shift. No, in fact, the weight just stays in place. So if you can keep the weight in place and swing the lead arm straight, you can do this drill really well. You can have solid contact. So keeping my lead arm straight, I'm going to pull it back to the top of backswing. I'm not hinging my wrist or anything, just really basic right now. We've got to start slow. To the top, and then I've got my weight here. So you should stop and check and see, hey, where's my weight? Is my weight forward? If you got a mirror bonus points, you can see that if there was a shift, you would feel, or you'd see this hip moving this way, or your hips would move in the opposite direction away from the target. So they need to stay towards the target throughout the entire motion here. I want you to feel like you just lock this into place. Like there's a cement block right here. It's a great feeling. Hey, you can't go anywhere, leg. So if I got that feeling right here, and this arm staying straight, bingo. This arm, I like to think of it as it's just rocking back and through with the drill here. Just so you can get the sense that, hey, if I swing back and I don't change where my weight is, and I just keep this arm straight, just let it go through, you'll get a feeling of this club's coming right there into the ground. And where's that? It's in front of the ball. KFC every time. Crispy contact. Then once you've got this sensation, let's just set up to a ball. I don't care what the result is here because we're doing one-arm swings. But I just want you to get the sensation of the same thing we just did here. Weight forward, bring the arm back, and then let it flow through. Let's do it again to get that same feeling. Weight staying forward, arm straight. That was pretty crispy. Once again, not really concerned about contact. I just want you to get a feeling of this arm being straight, the weight staying forward. Life's good when you can do those two things. Once you've done that enough and you got really good at it, what you need to do now is check out my free mini course, go.saguto.golf. It's teaching you the top 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. Then we kick it up a notch. Bam! Some more heat in the kitchen. We're gonna get 2 hands on the club, but you want the same feeling. You're gonna put your feeling in the lead arm and the weight left, the weight towards the target. It's just a short, powerful chip shot, chip/pitch shot. Wow, you know, you might find that some of these go about 60, 70 yards when you hit them really solid. I'm not joking, I'm swinging really easy, but the solid contact is so good on the face, the ball's just exploding off the face with no effort. So you want to start small. We're building up with 2 hands. You're getting this feeling. Contact is really good. By really good, I mean you're feeling that KFC, you're feeling the buttery mashed potatoes, and you're doing that at least 8 out of 10 times. You need to do that 10 out of 10 times, ideally, but at least 8 out of 10. Don't move forward until you've done 8 out of 10. Then we kick it up a notch and do a fuller swing. What happens? What changes? Nothing. Nothing changes. We're just gonna do a regular swing, focusing on both elements. Now it's gonna feel weird for a lot of you because you're used to, as you go back, swaying this way. We're used to maybe even breaking down the arm. 2 things that kill golfers' swings. So we have to do the opposite. Weight staying forward and keeping that arm straight at all costs. This is a direct order, soldier. You must never shift off. You must never break down the lead arm. I'm trying to make a great recipe here. If you know you can never do those things because it's a direct order, Tom said to do it, you can't do it. I'm watching you out there in the audience. I watch you. If I see anybody doing this, which go to a driving range, you'll see it everywhere across the world. It's everywhere. I don't want to see that ever again. Especially if you're watching this channel, it won't happen to you. So we're going to swing. This, I'm concentrating wholly on this, and it must never go this way or this way. Don't change that. Those 2 things are indispensable. Just a crispy mash on the center of the face. I'd like to order a 2-piece chicken, side of mashed potatoes and gravy, maybe some sweet corn. That was really good. Why don't we do it again? Because it feels great. Keep in mind, this will take some time to get down. It doesn't just happen overnight because it's weird feeling. But do we do it with the driver? Because this question always comes up. Hey man, do you put the weight forward with the driver? Oh yeah, we do. Why would I change anything? I want the same contact point. I don't want to change the swing either. What's all this nonsense about changing your swing for different clubs? I wish we could just take a bucket and chuck that out the window. Okay. Contact point, the same. Swing, the same. Weight forward, lead arm straight. Life is good. Don't change your swing for different clubs. Here we are again. Notice the weight forward. My head's in place. It's not over here. It's not back here. It's just staying over the ball. I know the ball's there. It's ball position. Head is over the ball. It's centered. Okay. Weight forward, lead arm straight. That is probably in the next county. And you know what? We do it all again. Why? Because that's direct order. You have orders to hit it crispy. And the way you do that is these 2 magic things. Okay, that was fun. Let's do it again. Not even thinking that much because it's gonna happen. It is so beautiful. Spicy meatball. All right, so you know what to do. These two things are magic for you. If you're looking for a way to play your best golf of your life right now, check out my website, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program designed to teach you all the moves you need to have a golf swing that will just hit shots so crispy clean. Shot after shot after shot, the shots that keep you coming back. You can hit that shot every single time. It's not rocket science, it just happens when you have the right information to work with. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you in a future episode. Have a rockin' week. Hey there, Saguto golfers. Tom Saguto here at the beautiful Tradition Club driving range in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Fantastic day for golf. And today I'm sharing something that I wish I knew when I started playing golf. And you're gonna get a real head start on the competition because this is the key that gets you hitting the ball very crispy. And it was an eye-opener once I discovered this. The most addicting feeling in golf is puring the golf ball. If this feeling did not exist, I don't think we'd be playing golf. Oh, that felt so good. Buttery mash, center of the club face. And then the desire to do that over and over again because it's so addicting. It's like Oreos. They're really addicting. Well, this thing right here increases the chance of you striking the ball solid like that by 100%. Meaning you could go from striking 1 out of 10 shots like that, you know, where you spend most of your time hitting behind the ball, thinning and duffing, topping, things that are not desirable. You go from that to instead doing that every single time. And how do we know this is possible? We know it's possible because it's virtually a law when we do this in the golf swing. Thinking about the shoulders, just draw a circle around your shoulders. All right? I've got my lead arm staying straight. Now, I used to be a big shifter off of the golf ball, so my shoulders would move off the ball to the top of the backswing. And then I have to shift my shoulders back to the ball at impact and shift them on the way through. So I was one giant shifting weight machine trying to hit a little ball at 1 millisecond in time. Does anybody have better roulette odds? I think there's better odds in the casino than hitting a good shot with all this shifting. So the big discovery is this. Your shoulders are your contact point. If your lead arm stays straight, wherever the shoulders go, the contact point goes. So if I stay over the golf ball and keep my arm straight, I will always see a divot right there on the front side of the ball. And just look at that every time. There's that nice divot every time. It's a guarantee. Why? This arm staying straight with the weight forward creates one contact point. The shoulders stay in one spot. There's no shifting. Now I'm going to shift my machine back behind the ball. My shoulders are now behind the ball. Oh boy, I just messed up my station. There's a divot behind the ball. Again. Now here's what happens when I shift. Well, it could be anywhere. Do I shift enough? I'm actually hitting some thin shots here. I'm topping some because the club's not really coming to the ground. So it changes how the club comes into the ground immediately. If you want to start striking the ball solid, you've got to learn to keep your shoulders turning in a circle. So this goes around keeping your head in place. Jack Nicklaus once said that keeping your head in place is the most important thing in the golf swing. He envisioned a barber pole pointing through his head, going straight down into the ground, and just swinging like he's keeping that stick through his body. And it's not moving, like his body is just going around that stick. He said that people who shift don't know how to play. So there was a big thing going on at the time where there was a lot of shifting being taught. He said they don't know how to play. Because if you want to know how to play, you've got to learn to master this concept. So stop the shifting was what he was saying. If you shift, your contact point moves. You can't play golf at a high level with the moving contact point. It just doesn't happen. I'll take those odds all day. I'd bet against you all day if you were a shifter. I'd say you wouldn't be successful on tour. You wouldn't really find much success in golf. But I look at the players who stay the most centered, who have great ball striking and have a good short game. like John Rahm, for example, he'll dominate all day. His shoulders turn in a circle. How do we get this? Well, I've got that barber pole analogy. I'm going to place some weight forward. I'm not going to change anything now. It's just shoulders. I'm going to swing my shoulders. And it's a guarantee. Because you just saw me do that little exercise with the left arm staying straight. I've got a few videos on the channel about how to keep the arms straight. We're not getting into too much detail about that. This is about the shoulders. If I keep those shoulders in a circle, that circle, not shifting, I'm creating a contact machine, like a robot. It can happen. It will happen if I do it correctly. There it is again. Simple, simple, but hear this. It's not easy. The concept itself is very simple. The feelings you might have to use to get to this point are going to be different. Just like in golf, you ever hear the expression feel versus real? What I'm feeling is not what you're seeing. You know, I could feel like I'm staying over the ball, and it needs to feel like I'm over here. Or it could feel the opposite. The camera tells you, are you over the ball? Does your head move? Once you learn that head position and shoulder position work together to create a contact point, you just don't move your head and you keep your shoulders turning in a circle. So if you want to learn how to get your shoulders turning in a circle, you have to learn how to use the shoulders. That's a magic key. This is the eye opener. The shoulders turning in a circle. How do the shoulders turn in a circle? Well, point the shoulder at the ball. So I can't turn my shoulders level or else my head moves off the ball. I can't just tilt my shoulders, my head moves forward. But if I point this at the ball, like Arnold Palmer told us, I will keep my head in place, turn the shoulders in a circle. There's my good contact. Predictable push draw with a beautiful look. That's amazing. It never gets old either. You know, you might hit 1,000 of these beautiful shots and you say, I want to do that again and again and again. The pursuit of perfection in golf. Perfection is the ideal, but you can get pretty darn close as a human being to perfection if you just keep your shoulders turning in a circle. There's another contact in front of the ball, divot in front of the ball. You run into issues with your contact, like I said, if you move your shoulders. So you'd know that you're not doing well if your shoulders start moving off the ball, your head moves up and back or down and forward. Like, this isn't good either. I just keep those shoulders turning in a circle. And I'm guaranteeing great contact with that ball. There's my divot every single time. Every single time. Every single time. Say it with me. Every single time. Isn't that fun? We don't play golf to be miserable. Golf is a recreational sport. It needs to be played to have enjoyment. And this is the most enjoyable way to play golf without having to practice hours all day long. Keep it simple. Don't move your shoulders. Learn how to keep the shoulders turning a circle. You'll have that same feeling that I'm having right here. And if you want to learn more on how to do that, I've got an online golf school, SagutoGolf, that will teach you step by step how to build a ball striking machine for your golf swing. What are you waiting for? Life's too short to be miserable. Good golf can happen right now for you with that online golf school, learning how to turn your shoulders in a circle. Have an awesome week. When you go from wide to narrow, you can't miss. This is what it takes to have consistently good ball striking. Hey Saguto golfers, Tom Saguto here, and this week you're eliminating the problem of inconsistent ball striking and getting into the category of fun, crispy ball striking shot after shot. And what I just did there was I didn't have a whole lot of thinking. The only thing I was focusing on was getting narrow in the downswing. Far too many amateurs get what I like to call wide in the downswing, meaning their trail arm, your right arm if you're a right-handed player, you're getting wider. Your arm's getting straighter. And this leads to all the problems you deal with on the golf course where you're chucking your clubs into the lake. The slices, the pulls, the thins, the fats. The stuff that has you crying and wandering in the desert. So you can see how when I do that, I've got a greater chance of hitting behind the ball, getting wide in the downswing. Club's getting farther away from me, getting longer. But the trick here to great ball striking is to instead go more narrow. When I go narrow, I'm doing the opposite. I'm storing power. I'm keeping this arm tucked in. It's not straightening early. It'll straighten a lot later when I need it to create a beautiful strike with the ground. That's that really crispy divot after the ball. And when I do that with the ball, you'll see the same thing happen again. Here we go. Boom. Oh, that is so saucy. And it just feels like air, you know, hitting the face. Butter. The face just collects the ball and sends it for you. The club's doing the work. My goodness, that feels so good. That's why we play golf. You know, it'd be awesome if we could do that again. Oh, yeah, yeah. Getting narrow, ditching the wide. So here's a great visual for you to ditch the wide and get narrow and start having some excellent ball striking. You're gonna love this drill. Take your driver out, leave the head cover on. You'll never go wide again. You'll keep it narrow all day. When you're swinging the driver with the head cover on, if you get wide, you'll feel the head cover and the club head touch the ground behind where the ball would be. But if you want to have good ball striking, keeping it narrow. So you have to feel what it's like to have the head cover touch the ground out here in front of where the ball would be. There's your divot in front of the ball. That's awesomeness all day long. What am I feeling? What's the sensation of having it narrow? Well, I feel my right arm's closer to my body, so trail arm staying closer to my side. I don't feel the arm getting long so early. I don't feel like I'm standing up at impact. I feel like I'm keeping my body in its relationship to the ball just because I'm not straightening the arm. You can see how this fixes so many problems, right? We don't ever have to go back to that again when you do this driver drill right here. There we go. There we go. And once you've done that a few times, and you haven't hit the ground behind the ball, you're not hitting any ground behind the ball, zero of that, we just get the club out, take a 7-iron out, see that ball right there? We're gonna send it. Feeling it, staying narrow. There's a divot in front of the ball, divot in front of the ball, divot in front of the ball. So I've got the same feeling. I'm trying to recreate what I did with that driver and that head cover right there. And now I'm just gonna send one. Oh, does it get any better? You hear all the speed on that? And I'm barely swinging. Why? Because when you go wide, you're wasting power. Wide waste. When you go narrow, you're nuking it. Narrow nuke. There it goes again. My goodness, it's holding on a string too. It's really windy out here. The ball is just projecting to that wind because I'm not going wide. Here's a bonus I want you to pay attention to when you're working on your ball striking. Always focus on getting a divot in front of the ball. I got 2 golf balls here. We're gonna place one in front of the ball and one where the ball should be. This one is my aiming point. We're gonna move it way out here. I want you to focus on when you're getting narrow, feeling like you're doing a divot always in front of the ball, but you're trying to go narrow and hit a spot out here in front of the ball. So when you do this, you're almost always guaranteeing a divot in front of the ball. Look at that. That's 3 in a row. I'm not really thinking. Not thinking is good. You shouldn't have to think a million different pieces in your golf swing. That's way too much for a sport that we call recreation. Recreation's got to recreate the soul, but if we're thinking too much, we're not doing that. So that's my aiming point. Now I'm going to hit a ball with that same thing in mind. Visualize my aiming point where I'm throwing that club down, staying narrow, getting to that second ball right there. Decent strike. Let's do it again. Right into the wind. Woo! Good strike. Ball's holding on line. Little baby draw. I couldn't resist getting this tip out to you today because it's just so powerful. It's so powerful. And it was worth braving the tough wind today just to do it because it's fun. Narrow. That sound is unforgettable. That's what's going on in the SagutoGolf online golf school. If you haven't joined yet, you're missing out because The whole training program there is structured to get you to play the best golf of your life. Do this shot after shot. It is possible for amateur golfers to be able to just do this. You don't need to spend tens of thousands of hours at a range to get this right. You just need a system that gets you playing great golf, hitting shots like that, driving it farther, having more fun. So check out Saguto.golf. You'll play the best golf of your life. Over 4,000 members in the school, having a lot more fun, playing some great golf. The sound is so good. You just want to do that over and over. It's like an addiction. I had to go see a doctor about my golf addiction. And I said, "Doc, I don't know what it is. I just keep making swings everywhere. I'm in the grocery store. I'm over here at the restaurant. I'm on a date. And all I'm doing is I just keep making swings, and I think it's obsessive, you know?" And he looks at me and says, "Tom, I don't know what to tell you, man. I just keep doing what you're doing. Your only prescription is more cowbell, more narrow." Crispy, crispy, crispy. So tell me something. Comment below if this helped you be a better ball striker. Like this video to get it out to more golfers. When you like the video, YouTube says, "Hey, we can send it out to more golfers." I think if we were all hitting the ball like that, we'd all be going around the golf course just jumping up and down. Golf doesn't need to be a struggle. We're human, we make golf hard. We make it harder than it needs to be. But there's some simple things you can do, like getting narrow, to just hit it solid. That's why you play. You don't play to go around and putt. How many people do you see practicing putting all day? Zero. We probably need to practice our putting, but you go to a driving range, you see the guy gets the driver out, and he's like, "Yeah, my first swing of the day is driver," and he hits 30 drives. And there's one after the other. Doesn't even think about the wedges or the putter. It's about that good feeling drive you hit on 18 that goes past your buddies and just keeps bouncing. It's when you get narrow in the golf swing and you feel that, and you just do it again and again and again. You create a nice divot line. So what are we doing? We're getting narrow. We're hanging out at the driving range, we're getting narrow. That's what golf's all about. If anybody says they're into golf for the putting, I haven't met one yet, but just let me know if you know somebody like that. I've never, unless you're playing mini golf. Wow, that might be the longest one yet. Whew. How hard does it look like I'm swinging? Because it doesn't feel like I'm swinging hard. I'm swinging like 50%, if that. I'm just feeling getting narrow. There's another ball divot strike. It's not requiring a lot of thinking to do this because this stuff works when you do it. I don't have to get a giant calculator out and figure out all these angles and things. I just have to know to keep my right arm in and don't go wide. Just get more narrow and send it. Get that little broomstick out of that driver. Just get narrow. Never hit behind the ball again. You'll never do it. You'll just be hitting it nice. And you'll fall in love with every golf shot. You'll fall in love with it. You'll love the game more. You want to play more. There it is again. You never knew a ball could feel like that off a club. You never knew that whoosh sound. Just, it never gets old. That's why we play. Be mashing on the center of the face all day long. So Saguto golfers, you know what to do. Get narrow, don't get wide. You'll be sending it with a beautiful strike every single time. I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Have an awesome week. There's a 99% chance that the reason you play golf is so that you can get this feeling right here on the center of the face. It's so addicting. It keeps you coming back for more. It's like that shot on 18. You know that one shot that keeps you coming back? Well, I'm talking about hitting that shot time and time again. And it's possible when you learn what I'm talking about in today's episode. We're talking about controlling where this club comes into the ground. 99% of golfers struggle with contact because they don't know where this club is coming into the ground. meaning that most of the time it'll come to the ground back here. Maybe it doesn't touch the ground. Maybe it's a top shot. Maybe it's the dreaded S word, the shank, slice, pull, but none of it is satisfying because this club is coming to the ground at many different points. If you ever stand over a golf shot, you go, I'm really not sure what I've got here. But you smile and you swing anyway. You smile and you swing. Okay, I got lucky. And then you do another one. And you swing. And this time, it's a thin top. And like, what happens? The same swing. Why can't, come back to me, good shot. Come back to me, where'd you go? You get rid of that by learning low point control. So the fundamentals of low point control, where the club comes into the ground, you need a couple different things. The most important thing is keeping your lead arm straight. The second thing is staying centered in the golf swing. Staying centered means you're not moving your head off the ball, up and down, around. Look, I do these two things, head in place, lead arm straight. I will see a predictable low point. I see the club entering where that divot is right there every time. That's awesome. It's not magic. It's just how geometry and physics is designed to work. It's a beautiful thing. It's constant. In a game where there's so many confusing things going on, you can have a constant. It seems so complicated until you have constants. Far too many golfers have variables. We're creating a constant. So head in place, lead arm straight. That's a crispy golf shot. It's awesome because it works every time you do it. And so the first thing I want you to do to build the skill of low point control is you're going to envision a spot in front of the golf ball. Take this ball out a little bit, get a second ball. That's our spot right there, that ball. And I'm putting out a little further just to give you something to strive for. That's a little too far out in front, but if you're somebody who struggles with hitting over here and maybe at the ball, you need to get more over here and do it every time. You will do this drill until you do this every time. Then you have control over where the club comes in the ground. And the pros practice this too, all the time. So I'm going to set my weight on front side, and I'm just envisioning the club entering the ground here. I'm not thinking a whole lot about technique at first. I just want to get the sensation of lead arm straight, staying centered, and I want to see the club grounding out in front of the ball. My aiming point is out here. You can see I'm still taking a divot in front of the ball. At no point do you ever hit behind the ball. That's step one. Step two, you get two hands on the club. You do the same thing. Just taking a little chip shot. And when I'm doing this, I'm feeling the weight staying forward. I'm feeling this arm straight. I'm even feeling the right arm, my right arm here, staying extended to straight. We're not doing any scooping or flipping. No, you won't have control of that contact point if there is any scooping or flipping. So this is going to fix all of your impact problems. There we go. You can even break it up, do it in smaller chunks. 1, 2. I've got both arms straight. I've got the weight staying forward. My head has not moved all over the place. Then I'll kick it up a notch and I'll hit a shot. I'm going to leave this ball in view so I have something to strive for. I'm aiming for this spot. The ball is here. I'm even going to look out at this ball. I'm going to look out in front of me and swing. I wasn't even looking at the ball I hit. And when I finish there, you can see both arms extended to straight, the weight staying forward. It's a little pitch chip shot. Then you want to work your way up into a 3/4 swing. And we're not really going to go beyond that today because you need to work more on the first part. But 3/4 swing, it's the same idea. Just get a bigger shoulder turn. My lead arm is straight. My head's not shifting. That's the spot I'm aiming for. I don't want to miss that spot. Good strike, arms straight, fully extended, explosive ball flight. Now I noticed on that one, I didn't hit it quite perfect. I hit it almost perfect. And that's because my weight wasn't forward enough. So my weight was hanging back slightly through the shot. That's not a good, you don't want hanging back. We got to be fully committed to this thing. We got to have the weight sending it forward. So emphasize the weight forward if you struggle with hitting a bad shot. If you hit behind it, the weight's not forward enough. And the arms aren't straight enough. So here we go again. Weight forward. And that one was perfect. Or as I say, perfect. Perfect ball striking. And that was weight staying a lot more forward. I think we'll see a difference between those two swings. Hanging back, I mean, the weight was forward, but it wasn't forward enough. I was kind of back on my right side. So we'll do it again because it feels good. That's weight forward there. My head's in place. I'm trying to get to this ball with a divot. Let's do it again. Slightly thin. Okay, what happened there? Well, I'm not going to panic because my arms weren't straight enough on the way through. I did a little bit of the elbows pulling apart. And you're going to run into these things as you practice. It's perfectly normal. It's a skill we're building here. So now I'm going to keep the elbows a little bit more together. Trying to do the same thing. And there we go. And that one was perfect or perfect. So, we're building a consistent contact point. You need this skill to play great golf. Here's the next step. This is the divot board, and it's going to show you how to master fundamental number 1, which is consistent contact with the ball. It's got an imaginary ball right here, and whenever the club swings through, it leaves a trail, showing you how the club moved through impact. It shows where the club entered the impact zone, so it hit the ball first here, left a divot in front of it. It even tells you you can fix your hook or your slice, your path of the swing through impact, and even if you hit behind it, which we don't want. And if you don't touch it at all, you probably topped it or thinned it. You could use this indoor, outdoor, anywhere. On the carpet, at home, on the grass, outside. If you got a cookout you're doing in the yard, you want to work on your game, divot board will help you do this. I've got students who use this all the time. They'll do this at home. They'll just practice at good impact at home, do the same drill we're doing right here. And they'll go to the range and they'll start striping the ball because they're building good habits all the time. And so we'll do the same drill here. I've got my visual right there, divot board, the imaginary ball at the divot board. Get set. I'll just start off with my lead arm staying straight, the weight staying forward, keep my head in place, swing it. Okay, that's good, really nice. The club entered the ground at the ball first, and then it took a nice divot after impact. I feel like I'm on that show, the Price is Right. You know, it's like, give me an E, give me a clean contact. I'm doing that thing with the letters, ding. Not the Price is Right. It's the show, oh, I can't think of it. With the words. It'll come back to me later. But you get what I'm saying. It's like the club enters and goes through impact. Just like that every single time. Then I'm going to set up and do a chip shot. Same thing. Envisioning the club grounding out there in front. All right. This one was okay. And I say okay because I hit ball first, yes, but there's a little bit of ground right here. And then after is the divot. Nice, very nice. What happens if I flip or I scoop? Well, I'm not sure. There's a flip and there's a chunky monkey. We don't want that. We're training how not to do that today. We'll never see that again. Okay, it's Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Tom, Price is Right. All right, so chip shot again, hitting out in front. I'm hitting right at the ball right now, so I can improve this. Granted, the mat is a little bit above my feet, so I might need to choke down just slightly. I can improve this though. My aiming point is out here. I'm trying to get there. And after doing a few strikes with the divot board with these chips, just hit one. Same feeling. Short, but sweet. You feel contact with the ball. Hit ball first there. I felt my hands ahead. That's good. No flipping. We can do crispier than that. There we go. That's really nice. Both arms extended, weight staying forward. Then we use our divot board for fuller swings, like that 3/4 shot. You can even hit balls with it too. Hit balls off that spot. There's my 3/4 swing. Oops, I was just slightly behind it. That's not good enough. We're gonna reset it. And we need to train to hit that spot again. The ball is out here, that's my aiming point. Trying to get through to here. I don't want to shift, I want to keep my elbows together. There we go. That was money. The divot was about an inch in front of the ball with good swing path, straight through there. No slice, no hook. That ball is gonna fly on a string. So why don't you say we just do that again? This time for real. That is why we play golf right there. You're going to fix every single impact problem you've ever had with the divot board. I've got a link to it in the comments and the description below. Check it out. It's an indispensable training aid. You can use this anywhere. You can build solid contact from anywhere. How many times do you not know where that club's coming to the ground? Like you're practicing at home, you're not sure, you're taking divots out of your carpet. Well, this will tell you right away where the club's coming to the ground. And it doesn't take any prisoners. It tells you exactly where it comes into the ground. It's not forgiving, which means it makes you even better. I put a ball on top, we're gonna hit a shot. I'm feeling kind of nervous because it's my first time really hitting a ball off of it. Here we go. All right. That was pureed. Inch in front of the ball, nice divot. Path is good. You actually see how the path goes a little bit in, doesn't continue out. That's okay because the golf swing's a circle. So you see the club approaching from in, completes a circle, goes around. So you should see a pattern like that through the ball. That's why sometimes you see players swinging to their left on TV because they're trying to get the club to complete that circle. Fun fact of the day. I love this device. We could sit out here all day and just hit balls with it. That one felt good for the first shot off of it. A lot of these, I've seen ones out there that are like the towels. They're not good enough because the towels break, they rip up. This is solid. It's a totally different material. It's designed to withstand thousands of strikes. Towels, you'll break those in no time. So the divot board certainly lasts a lot longer than some of the other stuff I've tried out there. I highly recommend it for building solid contact. There we go again. Contact off of it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel rough or harsh. It actually feels like you're striking some ground. It's a softer material down there. So that feels great. Ball first divot, ball first divot. Exactly what you need. It's the whole meaning of life for golfers. We're going to set up the ball. Envision the same feeling I've got with the divot board. Here we go. And that, SagutoGolfers, is a golf shot. So today we've learned how to go from inconsistent ball striking to consistent ball striking using the divot board. You've got an excellent drill. I expect you to go out to the range and pure every shot. You'll never hit behind the ball again. You'll never top a shot again if you keep doing this. Have an awesome week, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. This tip right here has improved so many of my students' golf swings, and I'm excited to share it with you. Really solid strike right there. This elbow in the golf swing, what makes it so magical? Well, there's at least two things I can share with you right now. Power and consistency. I want you to think about when you punch something. Usually, your arm is tucked in and then extends fully. This is a power move. Boom, boom, boom. Similarly, in the golf swing, when we fold this arm, it's doing the same thing. We're storing power so that we can use it through the ball after impact. That's a tremendous amount of speed. The same thing applies to consistent ball striking. If you want to take a divot in front of the ball and really hit it crispy, we need this arm to stay tucked longer and explode through the ball. If this arm gets straight too early, we hit behind the ball or we scoop and we flip. Things that are not a lot of fun for your ball striking. If I focus on keeping this elbow tucked and exploding through the golf ball, I will have consistently solid, powerful ball striking. I barely swung at that and there was a ton of speed. When you want to get maximum power in your golf swing, we should start here. Go to the top of your backswing where it is right now, and if you find that your club is angled vertically, even at the biggest part of your backswing where it's complete, we need to make a little bit of a change. And that change is this: tuck in the elbow. So once I get this tucked in, when I go to the top of the backswing, you should see a much fuller looking golf swing. No longer here with the club, but here. A much bigger wrist hinge. And this angle is also sharper, closer together, not so wide. And you don't want the club to get wide because that spells danger. For one, we don't have any power stored. And for two, inconsistency again. This arm's getting straight behind the ball. So I'm flipping out with my hands and I have no power. So golfing misery, golfing happiness. Two very different motions. Go to the top of your backswing without a club in your hands. We're doing without a club first. You always want to train this without a club. Feel the motion. Fold this arm, tuck it in like that. Just get it tucked in. Don't leave it out. Tuck it in, elbow pointing at the hip. And as I swing to the top, fold it to 90 degrees right there. Once you've got that 90 degrees, it is fully loaded. No need to go beyond, just here, that's fine. That's the max. And once you've got that, start your downswing and move to about the point where you're almost going to hit the ball. The club will be angled over here. That's what we're working on right there. This move will change your ball striking. Get that elbow tucked in. It's still tucked in here, you see that? It's not falling out. It's staying tucked in, almost against my side. I'm still connected with my arm against my armpit, tucked into here, and then I explode all of that energy through the golf ball aggressively. Now, pick up the fancy club. We're going to do the same thing. Tucked in arm, top of backswing, bring it down to here. It's still tucked in. For a lot of you, this will feel very weird because most amateur golfers I see have this elbow pulling out and arm straightening early, something like this. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but this type of motion is your slices and your pulls and your chucking your clubs into the lake motion. This, tucked in and through the ball, is the land of milk and honey for your ball striking. We're gonna hit some shots just like I'm doing right here. And all I'm doing is segmenting the swing out, top, keeping the elbow tucked in, and then I want to extend my arm fully to straight through the shot. And I'm feeling very crispy strikes with the ball. I'm feeling ball first divot, ball first divot. It's okay if at first you're not hitting the ground in front of the ball. You're learning a new move, so give yourself a little bit of a break there. Practice without the ball first. Tucking it in, and boom. Extending the arm to straight, out in front of the ball. Out in front of the ball, boom. I'm hearing a nice thud on the grass. With that club. If you're not hitting the grass, you need to extend that arm more powerfully through the shot. We're throwing the power down and through the golf ball, down and through. Boom. Down and through, down and through. You see that motion? Folding and exploding that arm through impact. And you can feel the power. It's like this. That's a tremendous amount of speed. Once you've done that, we can then apply it to the full swing. So we're no longer keeping that arm too straight. We're going to allow it to fold, and we're going to keep it folded. Keep it tucked in. Boom, tucked in, tucked in, tucked in. And then swing. Tuck it in. That sounded like a rocket. It was a rocket. Why don't we just do it again, because that was a whole lot of fun. Tucked in, send it. Another really solid strike right there. Ball striking awesomeness. By the way, I've got a free mini course, top 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. It's at go.saguto.golf. Check it out in the link in the comments and description below. It will help you improve your ball striking. So we're keeping this tucked in longer. And the magic of keeping it tucked in longer is, as you're seeing on the screen, a tremendous amount of power applied to the ball. and the ball's exploding off the club face into the distance, and your friends are saying, "Oh, what'd you do overnight, man? We want some of that." That's what's happening. Ball's going down the fairway 20 yards past them. And then you're gonna keep it a secret, of course, for a few days while you dominate them in your weekly matches. You just keep sending it, and you're smiling, sending it, making your birdies and your pars. You look like the sandbagger out there because your game just got so much better overnight. So it's a very simple tip, and I've seen this change a ton of golf swings. I've seen people go from here with no wrist hinge to a fully powerful backswing, to keeping this tucked, to exploding the club through the ball, and they're saying, wow, I just dropped 15 shots. I went from 92 to 77. It's crazy, but it happens because this move is that profound in your golf swing. Keeping the elbow tucked versus untucked. Just tuck it in and you're gonna be playing some great golf. So thanks for tuning in today. If you wanna play your best golf right now, check out my website, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program designed to help you step by step build your swing up, hit shot after shot crispy. Life is too short to play bad golf. So start playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a future episode. So maybe you clicked on this video because your ball striking was inconsistent. Maybe you were having trouble hitting the ball left, right, straight. Maybe you weren't even taking a divot in front of the ball. Whatever it was, your ball striking was just meh. But to turn your ball striking from meh into, we just have to think of one simple thing. There's a good chance that in your golf swing, you're falling back, and your weight's moving back, and your arms are shortening up like this. Good ball striking happens though, when we do the opposite. The weight stays forward, the arms stay straight. Since you're used to falling back, which is the equivalent of retreating, retreat, fall back through the golf shot, that leads to contact behind the ball, unsatisfying. Contact in front of the ball, which is the most satisfying, yum, yeah, give me some more of that, happens when we think of not falling back, not retreating, but rather the opposite, charge, falling into it, falling into the shot, teaching your body to go from here to instead here, here, here. So what am I doing? I'm teaching my body to fall forward and down, because you need to train the opposite. When I start thinking about falling forward and down, I hit ball first. I take a really crispy strike with that ball. There's a divot on the front side of the ball. Life is good because that feels great. So how do we get you to fall into it? Take the club out of your hands first, because we need to train what it's like to feel falling into the ball. So when I go to the top of my backswing, I want to imagine that I'm passing a basketball down and forward in front of the ball. I find it helps if you try and pass this to a spot in front of the ball. And it's out here about 2 or 3 feet. And for me to do that, I'm gonna fall forward with the weight. So this knee's moving down and forward, and I'm throwing the pass with the arms down and forward. So what do you get? Weight forward, you get arms straight. It's a great visual for ball striking. What's the old pass look like? The old pass is passing back here, or maybe scooping up in the air. You're not throwing down and through. That's the difference. That's the difference that'll make you a great ball striker. The old, where you throw it, matters. The new, throwing it forward, throwing it down and forward. That's the feeling. You should probably be saying, oh yeah, you know what, that's different. I feel a change. The old way you don't like means it's changing to the new way, which you're probably going to really love. So now I'm going to pass my basketball forward with a little chip shot here. Top, down and forward. Boom, there's my little pass. And that was a very solid strike. I will love that all day long. You can come back for some more. It's a buffet of Crispy KFC. Falling into it, good strike. And we start adding a little bit more of a backswing. But nothing changes. I'm here, falling into it. Try and keep your head in place. I'm exaggerating some points, so it looks like my head's going down and forward. That's me exaggerating. I want to feel it. I want you to feel it. But when you look on video, your head should not move. So that's a very important part of getting the feeling of down and through. Falling into it. My head's moving forward and down. My knees moving forward and down. Good strike. And the weight's forward, the arms are straight. That's a great feeling. This is actually something I really strive to build up in my online golf school, SagutoGolf. Solid contact, shot after shot. Because a structured learning program that builds your swing up to do that. Check it out in the link in the comments and description below. So you're falling forward, you're falling into it. You're seeing that this iron strike that you're feeling has changed. You should be seeing divots in front of the ball for the first time, maybe consistently for the first time for you. Maybe you've taken one divot before, two, but it's very rare. But now we're starting to see it. Oh, that's 3 out of 4. That's 7 out of 10. That's 9 out of 10. That's almost 10 out of 10, then 10 out of 10 doing these drills. Then you keep doing that because it feels so good. This recipe would fix a lot of contact problems in the world. Falling into it. That's a very solid strike, leaving white marks on the center of the club face. That's why we play golf. And even if you have to exaggerate on a hit, now you won't hit it solid, literally falling forward and down. That's the feeling you need to have. You will hit it solid when you get that idea of it in your golf swing, keeping your head in place. So you'll get that solid divot. You'll hit the ball first, you'll take a divot in front of the ball, shot after shot. So Seguto golfers, think about falling into the ball. If you're looking for a way to play the best golf of your life, check out my website, SagutoGolf, that complete golf swing training program that will show you step by step how to build that into your golf swing to play great golf. Life is too short to play bad golf, so start playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in a future episode. Today you're learning one of the best keys to great ball striking, dragging the handle through the golf ball. You'll never hit behind the ball, you'll hit it nice and crispy, and you'll never flip again. That's what we're gonna create today, a nice divot on the front side of the golf ball. Hey Seguto golfers, Tom Saguto here, and we're gonna be doing exactly that, eliminating the problem of inconsistent ball striking with a concept that legendary golfers use, like Ben Hogan, for example. The concept's called dragging the handle, and I've got a great visual for you. The handle of the club is here, the head of the club is here. Great impact looks like this, the hands leading the club head. And I bet you can see where we're going with this. Bad impact is the opposite, where the hands fall back, the arms shorten up. So we want to get out of the habit of hands falling back, arms shortening up, all this flipping and scooping, ooh. We want to get in the land of the milk and honey, which happens when we get the hands ahead of the ball and the arms extending straight after impact. That's where handle dragging comes in. Take out a driver. This is one of the best training aids on the planet for getting good impact position. You're just going to set the driver on the ground, set up to it like normal, but move the ball position back, almost where it's in line with your trail foot and your heel. What I want you to do is get the hands pushed ahead to where they're in line with your lead thigh. So this is really crazy. And when I do this, I'm getting the face pointing down, de-lofting the club, and it's closing the club face. And then from this position, I want to drag the club along the ground, like I'm getting a little bit of the shaft to bend. So the head is lagging behind, and I'm pushing those hands and the club dragging down and forward through the ball until after impact here. Both arms are really straight. And that sensation right there is what you need for great impact. See, you'll never be able to drag if you're flipping. If you're inconsistent, that club will barely be on the ground. So I want you to focus on keeping the club head on the ground, moving towards the target as long as possible. Put the driver away. You've done your duty. We're going to get that club dragging down and through, almost like a hockey player hitting a puck on the ice and then slapping it through. The longer you keep the club on the ground, the crispier the strike will be. So hitting a shot here, I'm feeling that club moving a lot longer on the ground after the golf ball. And I can't miss. You will not miss doing this. You will have a consistent contact point. It's one of the most frustrating things when you are hitting all around the ball. It's like I'm hitting everywhere but the ball. I'm taking divots behind it. I'm taking divots at the ball, but I'm never taking a div in front of the ball because you're not dragging the handle. So the handle must always lead, and the feeling is sweeping that club, dragging it along the ground after impact. Do it really slowly, hitting a shot here. And I'm feeling the arms extended nice and straight. Small shot right there. Nothing, no effort. No effort to get that type of beautiful sensation. You're collecting the ball in the center of the face. Best feeling in golf. That's why you play. So as I build this into my swing, I want to get the sensation of continuing to drag. And that one I hit pretty thin. Why did I do that? Because I got the hands way too far forward. That's okay, because I'm working on getting this dragging handle. I'm not letting the flip come in. After impact, it's gonna be okay if you can actually exaggerate dragging. You might see this. The hand's getting too far ahead. Just for the drill purpose, that's fine. What you're gonna see when you get to hitting the golf ball is a nice crispy divot dragging the handle. Good strike. Arms extended to straight. Doesn't get any purer. Doesn't get any purer. So what's your contact like right now? Well, if it's not where you want it to be, if it's not like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 crispy, you can get it there with dragging the handle. If you find that you hit that one shot around that keeps you coming back, now we got to change that into hitting like 30 shots around that keep you coming back. 30 shots around where you're smiling all day long. I'd say thousands of shots that keep you coming back, but then your score will be too high. So when you're on the driving range, you can hit thousands of beautiful shots and just relish in the awesomeness of it. So I'm just dragging the handle here, keeping the club on the ground as long as possible after the ball. That is the key. And you will love the deliciousness of that ball striking. Wow. Keeps you coming back. Why do you think on these videos I have such a good time? I'm not making this up. It's just legitimately that much fun. You'll have that much fun too when you start dragging the handle. Oh, I love it. Oh, we got all of that one. Squirrels! Squirrels were running out in the middle of the driving range there. Don't want that to happen. I like those squirrels, they're my friends. They'll find the ball for you. So we're dragging the handle. Got my driver again. If I start losing the feeling, I'll just start dragging again. Ball back here. Imagine the ball's back there and just drag it all the way from behind forward. Whew. Whew. I'm never shifting my weight because that's going to cause inconsistent contact. So I got to keep my weight on the left side, front side. And it's almost like the longer I drag it here, there's a whip effect. Now, that might not actually happen in the swing, but the concept of storing the power is there. It's this idea of the longer you can drag it, you can get an explosion of power after impact. It's a great visual. There we go again. Really short shot, but that's going far. I just touched it. You're gonna feel like that guy in Spider-Man. He's like, with great power comes great responsibility. And you're gonna be like Peter Parker, like, what? I just hit the crispiest golf shot of my life. I don't know what to do with that. And then you start spinning webs of awesome ball striking. Who remembers that scene? Drive the club through the ball for a long time. Yes, sir. That's the answer. You spend a lot of time on YouTube, I'm sure, looking up golf tips, just like you are right now, and you're looking for the secret, right? There's this idea of a secret. Yeah, I've got a few videos titled Secret. There really isn't a secret to this. There's a system for this, not a secret. It's not a secret, it just works when you do it. Like dragging the club works. I hit the ball first to take a divot. And that's what you learn in the SagutoGolf online golf school. When you join up, you get into a program that's structured to get you doing this shot after shot. If you're not in it, you're missing out because life's far too short to play bad golf. So you'll play the best golf of your life when you join SagutoGolf. It's really simple. There's a program. You go in it, you do the program. While you're in it, you start playing great golf. You have more fun, smiles, boom, boom, boom. Doesn't get old. Doesn't get old. There's no secrets to golf. Secrets in the dirt. Ben Hogan said that. Here we go again, let's drag it. Oh, ball, where you want to go? Let's keep you on the front side here. Oh, camera, don't fall over, please. It's a little windy. Good strike. You'll just want to keep hitting balls. It's so much fun. Feel like club gripping the ground. Oh, yes. That's the feeling. I can't describe the sound either. It's just amazing. If you're enjoying this video, please like it. We'll get it out to more golfers. YouTube just sends it out to more people when you like it. And I think if we help other golfers improve too, the world's gonna be a much better place. You should play golf like this. Golf is fun. Golf is fun. Golf is recreation. If you're not playing golf where you gotta be hitting the ball crispy, because we don't play golf to putt. We play golf so we can feel that. Oh, that was the best one yet. It's like an air cannon every time. So the whole thing you need to focus on, drag the club. Drag it through, don't stop dragging. And you'll be a ball striking dragon. You'll be hitting it so good, those people on the range will be like, what was that? What was that? And the people you're playing golf with, they'll say, oh my goodness, the sound. The sound. You won't believe it. But they'll start saying, what, the sound? And they'll say, how'd you do that? And you'll say, man, I just saw a SagutoGolf video. Just drag the club. Have an awesome week. There's a great chance that by the time this episode is over, you're going to outdrive all of your friends in your next game, and they're going to be blown away. I've got a really awesome tip for you today that will get you mashing the golf ball. And it's all about creating a ton of speed with zero effort. How do we do that? Well, one of the ways we can do that is we can get more, what a lot of people know, lag in the golf swing. We have the club lagging behind us in the downswing, so the club can whip through the golf ball at the last possible second, send that ball to the moon and back. It's like atomic power. I've got a fantastic drill that you can do from anywhere. If you got a wall, you can do this drill. It's going to teach us to feel lag. You see a lot of golfers struggling with this concept where they might have a good start to downswing, but then the power gets thrown away early. And this is that big problem of flipping and falling back, early extension. The power is being thrown away early. But we have a huge power source in your trail arm. If you're right-handed, it's your right arm. And when it's folded, it's loaded like this, it is storing a huge amount of power. Just think about this arm as being a power gold mine. And if you can load this arm and then have it fire after impact, that's the best case situation. You don't want it firing early, you want it firing late. All power and the most speed's happening right there. The wall drill is a great way to feel this staying loaded longer. Just a little disclaimer, this drill could change your life. Just be advised. So, we've got a wall at home. I've got my net right here. Something that's a hard surface that goes down to the floor ideally. You can't throw away your power with the wall drill. Place your body about a couple feet away from the wall. So I'm like 2 to 3 feet. If you do it closer, you're gonna feel the lag a lot more. If you do it further away, you're not gonna feel it. So you gotta be close enough. I'd rather have you on the closer side. Place your club at the top of backswing, and then start your downswing to the point where the club's about here. So you're touching the wall with the club. This is the magic point where it's gonna change your life. You want the club head to stay on the wall. So as you swing down, look at that. It's forcing me to feel stored power. You might feel that this arm hasn't started getting straight at all. It's staying really folded longer. If I get even closer to the wall, check this out. More stored power. So if you have a hard time with keeping power in your golf swing, you want to stand close to this wall and have that club head dragging down the wall. Now don't go around drawing stuff on your walls. I mean, you can play some foam or whatever just so you don't damage your wall. You can do this with an alignment stick even. But as long as you keep the stick, the club, whatever it is on this wall as you swing into the ball, you're going to get this club in a beautiful position to deliver into impact with insane power. Just dragging it down. Do this about 5 to 10 times. Whew. Look at that. The positioning is just incredible. The stored power, I can feel it. It's incredible. There's no more casting, flipping, throwing away. No, we're saving that, remember? Into here, and then whoosh, it's all going to explode. Atomic power, effortless power. I'm not working for that. You're just storing it up to explode into the ball. Then we make swings. After you've done about 5 or 10, just rehearse one without the wall. Imagine the wall's there. Ooh, that's a good feeling. I was sitting in my chair the other day, I was like, this is just a great idea. I think this will be so much fun for you guys. Dragging this club along the wall. Wow. And then you can feel the explosion of power. I'm dragging along the wall and whoosh, whack, crack, explosion, KFC. All right, we got my imaginary wall here. Now I'm going to envision this as I do a practice swing, just a soft swing where I hit this ball. Go to the top of your backswing, up, I'm against the wall now, drag that club along the wall into here. You'll see that this angle doesn't change. This arm stays folded longer, just keep it folded. Then, that's when we hit the ball. So we are training the feeling of keeping the power into here and then hitting and getting the feeling of that power releasing through the ball. It's really odd at first. It's a very weird feeling at first because you might be used to throwing away your power early. Don't worry if you're hitting these shots good or bad, it's just the feeling we need to build. Okay? And once you've done that feeling, you've got an idea of what it's like to keep this arm bent while this arm's staying straight, keeping this angle between the club and the arm. Then we're going to hit a shot nice and slow, feeling that wall, stay against the wall, stay against the wall, release all the power through the shot. Really slowly here. Okay, that feels good. I can really feel like the club head is lagging behind, like the trail arm is storing power. Hit another shot. Really solid, easy, effortless power. By the way, I've got a free mini course, go.saguto.golf, that shows you the top 3 keys you need to be a great ball striker. Check it out in the link and comments below. Look at this stuff. We store up all this power, and then it's like the club just whoosh, cracks through the ball, whips through the ball. High velocity. I'm not even putting a lot of effort into it. And we're putting marks right here on the center of the face, white marks. That's golf ball indents. That's when you're really compressing it. And it's about 4 grooves up. So that's really good feeling. That's why we play golf. I want that feeling the rest of my life. I know you want that feeling, so we can get that feeling. Now, if you don't have a wall or you want to train this anywhere, I highly recommend checking out the Lag Shot Swing Trainer. You've seen this in a few episodes already. I think this thing is one of the best trainers on the market. And here's why. It takes care of the whole wall concept for you. Because it's such a heavy-weighted club and the shaft is whippy, as I swing through, it forces the club to stay on the wall this way. Watch this practice swing. We'll do it in slow motion after I do fast. You can see that's really forcing that club head to lag like this, storing power and then whoosh, releasing all that power. And it happens naturally. I don't have to think about training this swing. This swing trainer trains me, teaches me. That's why it's so powerful. And Saguto golfers, you can get a 15% off discount on this. Just check out the link and comments description below. Use code SagutoGolf. It'll really help you to get this feeling. And so many other golf swing feelings. You see me use it in a lot of episodes now. The beauty of this trainer is that it will teach you to keep the power longer. So if I throw away the power early, I feel this weight of the club head whipping down and going into the ground. And it's a really ugly feeling. It doesn't feel like the club's getting through the ball. So when you do practice swings with this, you want the club head to take a divot on the front side of the ball and then whip through. And if I can feel divots on the front side instead of the back side, I know that this club is lagging behind me at the right speed, the right time, delivering power at the right time. So I'm not thinking about it, it just happens. What about the driver? Do we do the same thing with the driver? Well, yes. Actually, that's the beauty of this lag shot, is they got a driver model as well. And you'll get the same wall-like feeling with the lag shot. So as I swing back, feeling this club head staying along the wall, dragging along that wall, look at that. And then last second, whipping all that power through. It's easier for me to do with two hands. I really feel that club head lagging behind me. You cannot throw away the power with the lag shot. Lag shot helps you keep the power, automatically teaches you how to get the club through the ball with tons of speed. And after I've done that a few times with either iron or driver, I'm going to kick it up with the real club. I want the same feeling. The feeling doesn't change. It's just a matter of whether you use the wall or the lag shot. Either works really well. Lag shot's easier because it just teaches you without a wall. You can do it anywhere. And as I swing, imagining the wall. I'm never throwing away the power early. That feels great. I feel like the club just gets through the ball so much faster after doing a few swings with that lag shot. Like the club just whoosh, whoosh. That feels great. This is why we play golf, because we hit crispy golf shots. Woo! That was smoking. So what are we doing? The wall drill. How many times do it? As much as we need to keep all the power going through the shot. Hold the club against the wall. The club will explode through the ball. Effortless power. Great ball striking. If you're looking for a way to play your best golf right now, check out my website, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program that will build your golf swing to hit crispy golf shots like that every single time. Thanks for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode. Remember, life is far too short to play bad golf. So get on the track to playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. Hitting the center of the club face, one of the most satisfying feelings in golf. And today, I'm going to teach you how to get that feeling shot after shot with a very simple swing thought. So when we think about consistent golf swings, what comes to mind? Well, you might think of Ben Hogan, just striping the ball effortlessly down the range. You might think of Tiger Woods. You might think of a tour player, all those great ball strikers. And one thing that helps great ball strikers have a consistent swing is this. They've all got a backswing path and a downswing path that looks really the same. It's pretty much the same back and through. And if you can get your path to be consistent in your swing, you'll be consistent. Seriously, when you hear these two things, you'll probably laugh at how simple they are, and then you'll say, whoa, when you try it with your golf swing. First thing is this: get your arms straight. With our arms straight, we're eliminating variables. So by getting your arms straight, you now allow the bigger muscles to control the swing. Instead of just the hands and arms going wherever, ninjaing, bigger muscles allow the shoulders and body to work. You want to use the biggest muscle possible because that eliminates the need for you to control so many pieces. Whenever you try and control pieces, things go bad. We're human, that's what happens. It's just a fact of life. Simple equals better. Easier for you. So arms straight, get them out in front of you. Make sure you get your elbows together. That's a great feeling. Now we've got a unit we're creating. Your shoulders, arms, and hands are now a unit. Next, this is really going to blow your mind. Connect the arms to your body. So we're building this robot, this machine that you will become. If we get our arms connected, like I've got my elbows together, now we need to connect both these arms to the sides of your pecs, sort of resting on top and to the side of your pecs, and they're glued in there. I just took some Gorilla Glue, and just imagine I dropped them right here on your arms, and you're just whoosh, stuck with your arms straight, your elbows together. Now what? What do we do? Well, I'd say at this point, let's go out and get a sandwich together like this. People won't judge you, trust me. If you're a golfer, you'll understand. So now I've got this unit with this Gorilla Glue, and I can't unstick myself. I'm stuck here. What am I going to do? How do I move the club? This is the magic moment. You have to move the club with the body. You can't have any independent controllers, no variables. Now I've got to use the big muscle, the torso, to move the club. What does that mean? One path every single time for every swing. It's the consistency booster for you. Ooh, I got a fire ant in my club. That's not going to be good. Hey, buddy, this isn't gonna work. Now that you've got this feeling of the big muscles in control, we need to get this with the club in our hands. So as I swing back, I've got the same feeling, elbows together, really connected, boom. I have to use my torso to move this club. You might be sensing a whole new world of body turn, more freedom with your body. You're also sensing that the club's tracing one path back, one path through. Something that is magical is that when you get to the top of your backswing, we won't have any of this flying away. We'll actually be glued in here. And that's a huge backswing consistency key. This is money for your golf swing. It's free money, it's right there. So let's make a few swings. We'll start off nice and small. Got our chest in control, elbows together, arms straight, really connected. I'm glued, I am glued in. We're ready to take off to the moon here. And as you make short chips, you'll find the club's moving because of, that's right, the body. We're not just pulling the arms back. It's the torso, it's the chest. Nice and solid. You should find you're hitting the center of the club. Start there, hit the center of the club with the ball. Don't move up until you've done that 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. Then we'll kick it up a notch. What do? We just keep moving this torso. And if you really want to know how to get these moves down exactly, I've got a free mini course. The top 3 keys, you need to be a great ball striker. It's at go.saguto.golf. Check it out in the link and comments below. We'll keep this torso moving more until we get to a full golf swing, and I'm still connected. So we're going to go back further and let it fly. Get that feeling of what it's like to have the body in control and get this connection. The connection. It's essential for consistency. Swinging back. Oh, did you hear that? It just sounds like a crack in the distance. It's a great sound. Hitting right there every single time. Another really solid strike on the center of the club right there. And it's the same swing almost every single time. You know, it's the closest you'll get to being a golfing robot. We need to eliminate variables to have the same swing every time. So by getting our arms straight and connecting our upper arms to our sides, allow the body to swing the club, which gives you one path back and one path through for extreme consistency. Extreme meaning you'll have a lot more fun, you'll play a lot more golf, and my favorite part, birdies, pars, this crispy, addicting feeling time and time again. Does it work with the driver? Oh yeah. Another good shot right there. And it feels effortless. Why? The body's in charge. Your body is telling the club what to do. I don't like having to work so hard. This makes the golf swing so much easier. So here we go again. Oh, ball, what are you doing? There we go. It's okay, you'll be fine. Oh, somebody doesn't want to get hit today. Somebody doesn't want to get hit today. Let's swing before you can get off the tee. Oh, I lost a little connection there. Thanks, Top Flight. Good shot right there too on the center of the club. Top flight won't escape me that time. So you know what to do, get connected, keep those arms straight. If you're looking for a way to play the best golf of your life right now, check out my website, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program that will teach you step by step how to build your swing to hit shot after shot crispy. Life is far too short to play bad golf. So start playing the best golf of your life with SagutoGolf. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week. Okay, it's no surprise that all you want to do in this game is hit crispy golf shots. You hit the ball first, take a beautiful divot on the front side of the golf ball. In today's episode, I'm going to show you golf's contact secret, meaning 99% of amateur golfers don't know how to compress the golf ball well enough. You don't get that crispy KFC feeling. And the secret lies in your wrists and the way the wrists work after impact. This is the pro move, the move the pros make to compress the golf ball shot after shot. How many of you in the audience have a contact point that looks like this? You do the good old flip of the wrists, the arms shorten up, the weight goes back, and then you spend half your time complaining on the golf course about why your golf game is so bad. 99% of you do that. I see this all the time. It's a terrible disease in the game of golf, and what it leads to is just frustration, pure frustration. You don't want to play. But when you do this with your wrists, you make this move, this new move I'm going to show you, you are going to start hitting ball first, taking a divot on the front side every time. You're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna want to play more golf and you're gonna beat your buddies. Is that a win? That's a win. That sounds like a ton of fun, Tom. Yes, raise your hand if you're ready for more fun. You should be. Get excited, because today ends your golfing disease, the problem of terrible contact. When we look at what the wrists do in the golf swing, sure, we're familiar with the wrist hinging in the backswing. This is a power source. You need the wrist to hinge because it gets the club to travel farther back. A longer backswing with less effort. That's what the wrists do. It makes your golf swing so much more powerful and consistent. Now when we get to downswing, we need to keep this angle between the arm and the club shaft, the wrist angle here. That's often referred to as lag, holding the lag, getting to this position here. You're storing all this energy for a huge release of power through the golf ball after impact. So how do we make sure we apply all that power punch to the golf ball? We have to tell our wrists to go down after impact. When the wrists go down, man, you're gonna find the ground. And that ball is going to explode. I'm not talking like those little balloon weak things you're hitting right now, those annoying things that you're tired of. I'm talking about exploding downrange. Massive power. See, here's what it looks like when you do the flip. Take the club back. Usually most of you are shifting your weight, doing that old move right here. Then into impact, your right arm gets longer, trail arm gets longer, you start to flip, you start to fall back, you top the golf ball, you hit it thin, or you hit behind the ball. So it looks something like this. Okay? That doesn't have a lot of speed because you spend more time trying to figure out how to get this unhinging, falling back, hitting the golf ball, when you could be spending just a little bit of your time changing the program to compress it like this. Now that, whew, I barely touched it. That ball's still going. This is a 5-iron, by the way. So the wrists have to go down after impact to hold the power. We've got the lag here. After impact, I start moving the wrists down into impact like this, through the ball. I'm not rolling the hands over. I'm not scooping the ice cream cone. Ice cream only belongs for dessert, not in your golf swing. So when I say the wrists move down, what do I mean? I quite literally mean the wrists unhinge after impact. Unhinge down. Down. Because the wrists are storing power. Stored power, releasing power. Stored power, releasing power. So you have this stored power. Now we need to Release the power after impact, and look at my impact position, look at post impact. You want the hands forward, that beautiful forward shaft lean? Look at that, it's right there. I will get forward shaft lean 100% of the time if the wrists hinge down. It's a guarantee. There are a few guarantees in life, in golf like that, where you can get forward shaft lean every time. And you don't have to think so much about it. I'm not thinking. You hear that? It's like spanking the club against a cement wall. It's like, sounds like you're whacking the crap out of it. Put it down. Oh, that's so much fun. That sound never gets old. It's so much fun. So do this with your wrists right now. Hold the club out in front of you like this. Hinge them all the way up. Okay, that's full wrist hinge. Now, take them and unhinge them all the way, meaning there's no wrist hinge. That's a sensation after impact you need to feel. Down. Now, why do I say down? Because it's easier for you to think of it this way. If you imagine that there is a bullseye, and I'm going to use this golf ball as an example. Put this golf ball in front of me, and I want this club to point down at that golf ball after impact if I want to hit it solid, if I'm doing this correctly. If you do this incorrectly, your golf club will flip, club points down range. You want the club to point down at that ball right there. So here we go. I'm going to hit a shot and focus on pointing the club down at that spot. So there we go, club pointing down at ball, super mega compression on that golf ball. Club down, that gets you unhinging the wrists, and you see the compression. You cannot deny that it's there. The pro-like secret, and all the pros are so good at contact, they hit the ground in front of the ball every time. This is how you do that. You set up a line like this, and then you start imagining these bullseyes in front of the golf ball. So we've got 5 golf balls here, 6 golf balls. There's a spot right there I want to hit. I want to point the club down at that spot, right there. All right, so I'm rehearsing that move. I'm getting that feel. Let's point the club at that spot. Divot in front of the golf ball. Divot in front of the golf ball. One of the best things you can do for your game. Here we go again. Look at that, unhinging the wrists. Nobody does this. Nobody in the amateur world of golf does this. Another divot in front of the ball. How much thought am I giving to this? Not much. Because I know if I do this correctly, divots in the front side of the ball. And this will build up into your full swing, but you need to start slow. Don't just jump in and do full swings. You've never done this before. You're coming from this. You're coming from the old flip. You need to get this club pointing down. Woo! Another one right in the center. Right in the center. Right in the center. If you're looking to do that, get that kind of compression, check out my website, SagutoGolf. $10 a month to play the best golf of your life. What are you waiting for? Life is far too short to play bad golf. You're going to learn how to do super compression with the golf ball. That is fun. Golf is fun. Golf can be a ton of fun if you let it, if you invest in your game. Oh my goodness, that's so much fun. You know, it's like Thanksgiving dinner. Just buttering up Texas toast. Maybe putting butter on top of some steak. I know some of you like to do that. I like to do that too. Get a little creamy horseradish on it. That is 6 in a row. You just can't screw this up. Okay, now we take it into the full swing, but we don't go full, and here's why. Because I know you're gonna wanna go back to this. No, we're done with that. I need you to work on this. Finish here. Just for some time being, until you get this right. You gotta be able to hit the ball, take a divot in the front side of the ball every time. I don't mess around with this. I tell students, hey, work on this until you can hit 9 out of 10 clean. And 10 out of 10 is the goal. 9 out of 10 clean, and that 1 out of 10 that's not good, it better be a thin one. We're trying to get every divot on the front side of this line. So half swings. this far, 3/4 half swings. There. Look at down, look at the wrists are hinging down, unhinging. Unhinging is the secret to great contact. So you set up here, we do a 3/4 swing. And I'm gonna hit the ground in front of the ball. There's a divot on the front side of the ball. Oh, it's buttery. We can do it again because it's fun. Here we go again, 3/4 swing, unhinge after impact. Unhinging. Oh. I am excited about this because I know you're going to have so much more fun. That's why I teach golf. I teach golf so that the average golfer doesn't wander around in the desert. The land of milk and honey is here. It's right here. It's at Saguto.golf. It's right here on this channel. You don't have to spend your life wandering. Why do you play golf? Well, I play golf because I think it's a masochistic game and I enjoy the pain. Nobody says that. Unless you really do think it's that kind of type of way to play. But everybody says, I want to be more consistent. I just want to hit the ball first. I just want to take a divot on the front side. All I want is a smile after I play golf. Yeah. This will do it. This will do it. I cannot fake compression smiles. Those smiles happen after you compress the golf ball, and they should happen for you. 3/4, unhinge, there's the crispy. So I'm really emphasizing that. If I was to stop here, I should. Going a little too far, getting too excited. Happens. You get too excited. That was a good shot though. I'm probably picking up about 10 yards. You'll pick up 10, 20 yards, maybe more depending on how bad your flip was. So you're flipping out. Just stop right here. I'm getting too excited. Oh, compression, it's fun. Stopping short. There we go. Just to feel it. Just to feel it. This is your game on flip. This is your game on playing the wrist down. So, yes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, okay? But they got these faces. These are all the faces of Saguto golfers when they go out and they do this drill. They're literally drooling after hitting the golf ball like, oh, deep fried sauce. Deep fried sauce. I can't believe it. I can't believe I just did that. It should happen again. It should happen every time. Oh my goodness, that contact was so good. That contact was so good. Surely it can't happen again. It can't happen 2 in a row. Oh, yes it can. If you point the wrist down, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Get excited, Saguto golfers. You gotta point the wrist down after impact to compress the snot out of the ball, just like the pros. So if you're looking to do this in your golf game, check out my website, SagutoGolf. $10 a month to play the best golf of your life. If you think life is far too short to play bad golf, click here to sign up for my online golf school. If you want to see more awesome golf content, click here to subscribe to my channel. And here are 2 fantastic selections from the Saguto Golf archives designed to help you improve your golf game. And it's time to turn that frown upside down with some Saguto Golf. Go out there, point the wrist down, have so much more fun. Thanks for tuning in and have a rockin' week. Hey there, Saguto golfers, Tom Saguto here. Today we're talking about one of the most important pieces of the golf swing you need for perfect contact with the ball. And not just perfect contact one time, but striking ball first and taking a divot after it every time. You can do that when you think about keeping your arms very straight. Now this often gets overlooked. You're working on your swing, you're thinking about all these different pieces, and you look at the top of your backswing and then boom, you see this. That lead arm is broken down. You don't think much about it, right? You're saying, I've been trying to keep my arms straight for years, it's never gonna stay straight. And I probably saw a YouTube video that told me I could keep it bent. Well, that's causing almost all of your problems. Here's what happens when your arms are bent. You wanna get more power in the golf swing? You need your body to be engaged. We need the shoulders to turn, we need the hips to turn. You can't get a turn when the arm bends. If the arm bends, the shoulders stop turning. And I see this with a lot of golfers, especially as you age and you start feeling your swing be all arms, you see a lot of this. There's no power in this because the shoulders and body are not engaged. Another thing is consistency. When your arms bend down, it's easier to swing over the top. So we have to get away from the bending of the arm habit and get into the habit of keeping this arm, the lead arm, straight. Well, when we look at good habits with the lead arm, if you keep the lead arm straight and I don't do any shifting, I just keep my head in place, I'm going to have this club come into the ground the same spot every time. Ball divot, ball divot, ball divot. You'd say it's a miracle. It's just physics and geometry working the way they should. And then when we look at keeping the arm straight from a power perspective, well, just to feel the shoulder turn here, lead arm straight, there's my shoulder turn. On both ends of the swing, the shoulders are allowed to swing freely, which is a huge key for power, getting the hips to turn. You don't have to think about turning individual pieces of your swing. And I don't like having too many swing thoughts. I only want one swing thought. Two is too many. So for me, it's really easy to think, push the arms away and just swing. I know my shoulders are going to work correctly. Now, put your focus on keeping the lead arm straight above everything. We need this right arm, the trail arm, to be folded. So at the top of backswing, this is what you should see. You want the hands farther away from your head, but you want this arm bent. To store power, left arm, lead arm is consistency. As I swing into impact, I'm storing power still. Lead arm is still straight. Into impact, this arm's still straight, trail arm still bent. After impact, both arms are straight. That would be the single most important thing you'd ever need to know about the golf swing as it relates to your arms. If you can do that, you will play good golf. Here, check this out. Let's just do that for 1 second. Really slow motion. Push the arms away, push the arms away. There we go. It's a good strike. It's ball divot. And it will happen. It will happen because it's just physics and geometry at work. We're minimizing variables. We're taking out the stuff that causes you to cry yourself to sleep at night because your golf swing isn't working. We replace it with things that work so you don't have to be so frustrated. So I'm pushing my arms away. There we go again. Ball divot. And you see, there's that pile of divots in front of the ball. I won't strike behind it because the lead arm's straight, and then my trail arm is staying bent until after impact when it gets straight. If you just remembered that right there, your ball striking would be phenomenal. So how do we feel this? Well, I like the feeling of pushing away my arms. So I'll either grab a club or not grab a club. In either case, extend both arms to straight, and imagine like you're pushing against the wall. As I swing back, I'm still pushing against that wall. Yes, your right arm is staying straight. It shouldn't be at the top of backswing, it's gonna be bent, but you gotta feel like you're getting these hands farther away from your head so you get the arm staying straight. The first thing you need to notice is this shoulder. The front shoulder needs to move under the chin. If your shoulder's not moving under the chin, then you're not creating enough power. And you can get it under the chin even if you're 90 years old and 100 years old. I taught a 92-year-old golfer to do this amount of turn, all because he was engaging the lead arm straight and his shoulders turned and his hips turned, and then all of a sudden he looks like everybody else on TV as far as a shoulder turn goes. So it's not an age thing. It can happen for anybody. Now I'm just going to hit golf shots feeling like I'm pushing my arms away really slowly here. I don't want to give it too much juice at first because I'm really focusing on pushing the arms away, pushing the arms away. And then as you get more accustomed to doing that, used to the feeling, you just take it back further and further. Go where the shoulders stop and then swing through. That is where you have a full backswing, a real full backswing. None of this circus swing where we don't know what's going to happen. For my next act, I'm going to slice it in the woods because I've bent my arms down. For my next trick, I'll make this ball disappear into the water. Yeah, we're not doing that. Now let's just hit a ball pushing those arms away. That feels really good. Solid strike. Shoulders engaged. Houston, we have a liftoff. That's why the ball explodes off the face. Yes. That makes me want to come back and hit another shot. There we go, another good one. She's a beauty. This is going to fix your woods and your driver too. because your shoulders are going to be working. I don't know how many golfers I see with these breaking down arms. It's almost every lesson where I'm teaching this arms push away feeling. And that's what's going on in my Saguto.golf online golf school. I'm showing golfers in a step-by-step program how to do this feeling right here, shot after shot. So you'll learn the arms straight. You learn how to build a swing where you keep this arm straight for solid contact, shot after shot, to where you don't have to think so much about this. You can just get up there, hit it, ball first, divot. It's a beautiful poem, isn't it? So when you push your arms away, you allow for 100% better ball striking, not 99%, but 100% better ball striking, because we're eliminating variables that cause your swing to make you frustrated. So when we eliminate variables, it allows me to strike the ball solid. Another good one. Ball divot, ball divot, ball divot. Who doesn't want that? So Saguto golfers, go out there, push those arms away, and you will have a field day playing the best golf of your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future episode. You're gonna have so much fun doing this, hitting good contact, that you can play great golf just doing this. Hey there, Saguto golfers. Today I'm addressing the age-old question of what should I really be working on in the golf swing? Are you working on the right things? Do you work on the backswing? Do you work on the downswing? Do you know what you're working on? Today I'm going to clarify and clear any confusion you might be having about what to work on your golf swing, get you working on one thing that gets you on the right track to good ball striking no matter who you are or what your skill level is at golf. This simply works. And the number one thing you should be working on in the golf swing is contact. Being able to hit the ball first and take a nice divot on the front side of the ball. What you should really be working on is creating solid contact with the golf ball. You'll hit the ball further with less effort if you can hit it consistently on the center of the club face and you can hit the ball first and take a divot on the front side. If you can't hit the ball first and take a divot on the front side, you shouldn't be working on anything else in your golf game. We start here and we continue to make this our top priority. Being able to hit ball first and take a divot, hearing that nice crispy impact sound. So, what do we need to do to achieve crispy contact with the ball? We need to do a couple of things. The first thing you need to understand is that this golf club, if you want it to come into the ground the same spot every time, your left arm, if you're a right-handed player, your lead arm must be straight. So if this arm stays straight, it is allowed to enter the ground at the same spot every single time, which means crispy contact for you. So at the top of my golf swing, the lead arm should be straight. Coming into near impact, lead arm is straight. Impact, lead arm is straight. Through impact, lead arm is straight. That is a must-have. If you're not able to get the arm straight, you must force it straight. Trust me, you can't go without keeping this arm straight. You have to do it. The second thing you have to do is think about what you're doing with your weight in your golf swing. Are you shifting your weight? So if you want to have the most consistent golf swing, you shouldn't be shifting your weight, and here's why. The second I make any lateral motion, any shifting, look what happens with my lead arm. It moves behind the ball. You see that right there? It's moving behind the golf ball, which means even if I kept my arm straight, if I keep my weight back, I will hit behind the ball. Inconsistent contact, hit behind it or scoop it and hit it thin. It's a very common problem today. So we must think about where the weight's going. Where's your weight going? Your weight should be staying relatively centered in the golf swing, meaning that it's not doing any shifting or swaying. So you have to start thinking about rotation instead of sway. See, swaying doesn't like rotation. If I rotate, I don't sway. But if you don't rotate, if you lock your hips and your lower body, you will sway. And we don't want that because that's causing inconsistent contact. So when I put these two things together, the weight staying centered, meaning that I'm favoring my front side with the weight and keeping it there, and I've got the lead arm straight, that allows the club to come into the ground the same spot every time, always on the front side of the ball. Divot on the front side, crispy contact all day long. If you kept me here and doing this, I would hit ball first, take a divot all day long. When you get into the full swing, you need to focus on these two big keys. The weight must stay forward, the arms must stay straight. you will hit the ball very solid. When I go about practicing my golf swing, I'm always going back to doing these two things. I think about, where's my contact point? Is the club coming into the ground the same spot every time? If it's not, Houston, we've got a problem and we've got to fix it fast, because my priority is solid contact no matter what, and it should be yours too. So when you're practicing, don't go through and do a big wraparound finish, especially for what I'm about to show you right here. This is the magic secret. This is the glue. It's just beautiful deliciousness for the golf swing. What you need to do is think about stopping short, meaning that your club, you should stop about here in the follow through. The reason for that's simple. It gets you training good impact. Most people swing through with the wraparound, and that gets you thinking about doing this. So you see the breakdown of the arms, the flipping, the inconsistent things you're doing right now. What you got to do is think about stopping short. Because when you focus on stopping short, look where my arms are. The lead arm is straight, the weight is forward, and I hit that really solid. So when you stop short, you think about good impact. You don't think about finishing the swing. You're just all about impact. There's another solid one. And you could do this all day long, stopping right here. You're taking all your momentum. You're taking a truck going 100 miles an hour, and you are stopping it into a wall. I'm not slowing down. I'm accelerating, but I'm throwing that truck right into the wall, the club head right into the wall at 100 miles an hour. So it's a lot of effort, boom, hitting that wall, stopping. And it's telling me, yeah, I've got some good gravy right here. Look at that. I've got forward shaft lean at impact, because impact's telling you what you're doing in the follow through. Look at that. That's magic. That's magic right there. So a lot of golfers like to practice at home. How do you know if you're doing good contact on a mat at home or you're in your garage? Well, you don't really know. So that's why I love to practice with instant feedback using something really cool. This thing right here is called the divot board, and it has revolutionized my practice sessions because it tells me exactly where this club comes into the ground. There's the ball, and anything where the club makes a mark, it leaves a trail. Your path of the club, so your path could be going neutral or into out or across, telling you everything you need to know about the path of your club, which causes the curve of the ball. But it also tells you whether you hit it on the center, off the heel, or even off the toe. So there's so much feedback right here that you can't get on a mat or just off your hitting balls off your driveway into a net. So I actually use this in my practice sessions in my yard, because I need to know where this club is coming into the ground. The best part about this is that you don't need a golf ball to practice getting good contact. You simply get feedback right off the ground. Sure, you can go into your yard and you can practice with just a club and taking nice divots out of your lawn, but I'm not sure your spouse would be too okay with that, or maybe even your HOA, when we don't want to deal with that. So using the divot board allows you to take your divot board onto your lawn, and then you can simply take divots out of the divot board and understand that you're getting really crispy contact with the golf ball. Check that out right there. That's what you need to see every single time. This is what the pros are doing. You hit the ball first and you got a divot on the front side of the golf ball. If you're not doing this, you're going to struggle forever until you can do this. So the divot board allows me to practice anywhere, anytime, getting solid contact with the ball. So what am I working on here? Once again, my weight staying forward. I'm not shifting my weight. My lead arm is staying straight. When I focus on these things, I'm really confident that I'll hit the ball first, and I'll take a divot on the front side of the ball. Right there, ball first, divot on front side. Now you don't want it going too far forward. That's about as far forward as I'd be happy with. Like if you start taking divots way out here, you're definitely hitting it thin, so we don't want to be doing that. But look at this. I'm able to practice. I don't even need a ball, and I can control my contact point. So I've got my arm staying straight, and I'm keeping my weight forward, which helps me to have a consistent contact point with the ground. Ooh, that was mashed right there. Check out the divot. Ball first, taking a divot. And all I'm doing is working on those two simple things. You don't have to work on a million things in your golf swing. You just have to get good contact consistently, shot in, shot out. Once you master this, you work on other pieces like adding power to the stroke. But trust me, you're gonna have so much fun doing this, hitting good contact, that you can play great golf just doing this. Lead arm staying straight, weight staying forward. Here we go again. Divot always on front side of the ball, instant feedback. This is so powerful because when you have a device that measures where the club comes into the ground, you don't need a golf ball. You could do this outside or inside your house, even on a rainy day. And I know we love golf so much, we want to get crispy contact all the time, so we practice all the time. I'm working on the right things. I'm working on contact all day long. Crispy, crispy, crispy. If you can do this, and I know you're going to do this correctly because you've got the tips you need to do to create consistent impact right here in this video. Use a divot board or something that can measure club coming into the ground. This is an invaluable practice tool. Now check out this life-changing transformation for one of my students.
Seguto golfers, meet Daryl. Daryl came to me for an in-person golf lesson and he was struggling with bad contact. In fact, he had never taken a divot consistently in front of the golf ball. And like most of you who come to my channel, you're struggling with getting crispy contact. So Daryl struggles with flipping. And this is probably the biggest problem I see in the golf swing among all amateur golfers. The arms breaking down after impact and the club shaft pointing down range like this. So basically you're losing all your power and consistency because the arms are breaking down. Daryl and I worked really hard to get his arms straight after impact to help him take a divot on the front side of the golf ball, hitting ball first, getting that beautiful buttery feeling of crispy impact. So you see me here holding a stick. And the whole idea of me holding the stick here, it turns out that Daryl would overswing in his follow through. So do that big wraparound finish. But for me to get him to stop flipping, I put a stick there and said, don't go past that stick. And what this did is it created some beautiful impact lines. After impact, you see the arms staying straight and extended with the club shaft pointing down at the ground. The first words out of his mouth when he did this correctly were, "That feels extremely weird," which is good because he was coming from flipping, and flipping was comfortable. Flipping out was comfortable. So getting the arms straight and extended will feel very weird. As you can see, he's able to create a divot now in this beautiful rehearsal. So then we go to round two. I keep the stick there, and he is going to hit a ball now with the same feeling. So stick is right here. Don't swing past that stick. Keep the arms extended through the shot. Here is the result. Coming into impact. Beautiful impact position right here. There's this magical thing right here. That's called a divot. That's deep fried KFC contact. And after impact, we also see beautiful extension of the arms and the club shaft pointing down at the ground. When looking at a pro golfer, we need to create a situation for you to have crispy contact. Flipping, you have a million different points of contact. But if you can keep the elbows together, the arms straight, and the weight forward, you will hit it crispy every single time. You give yourself the best chance to hit it crispy. So after impact, you should be trying to get to this position right here, where the arms are straight and extended with the club shaft pointing down at the ground, at least to this point in the golf swing. After that, you can follow through. When looking at old Daryl here on the left, we see the dreaded flipping. At the same point in the downswing, in the new golf swing, we see arms straight and extended through the golf shot. The old Daryl would never take a divot on the front side of the golf ball with the flip. This breaking down of the arms causes the club to go up through the shot, so the club doesn't come into the ground in front of the ball. Usually you're scooping and hitting it thin, or you're hitting behind the golf ball. In the new Daryl, he will hit ball first and take a divot on the front side every time he gets this club into this position. He's got the arm straight and extended, club shaft pointing down at the ground. If you can just focus on pointing that club shaft down at the ground instead of in the old where he's pointing it down range, you are going to hit the ball so much more solid.
Lastly, we need to keep this solid, crispy impact going. So we take a lovely Home Depot driveway marker alignment stick, best $2 training aid ever. You place it in the ground at a diagonal like so. And what this is going to do is it's going to act as if it's your golf instructor holding a stick right here telling you to stop short. So if I go beyond this point, I'll hit the stick, probably do my wraparound finish. We don't really want to do that. I want to stop very short. So probably right about there is about as extreme as it will get. If you're having trouble getting quality impact, keep it at a spot where you're really going to hit it short. Change the angle if you want it a little bit easier. So you can move it upwards like this. If I change the angle, I can go a little bit further. Right about there is where I would like to see it, for at least my swing and for the average golfer. Because that tells you if you can get to here, stopping short, you can see the arms are both straight and then the club is pointing down at the ground. That's what you need for crispy contact. Take a 3/4 swing, stop short. Look, I hit the stick. It's okay to hit the stick. That's just there to tell me to stop so that I can see quality impact. Quality impact. So that tells you you're working on the right things. Now what do? We combine it all together so that you can be staying on the right track with your golf swing, even from home. You don't need a driving range. You don't need a whole bunch of buckets of balls to do this. I'm not using a ball. I know the instant feedback's right here with the divot board and with this alignment stick in the ground. So you gotta put it in a spot where it's going to be a threat. You will hit it with the alignment stick, that's okay. Divot board through to alignment stick. The two best things you need to groove solid impact all day long. Here we go, short 3/4 swing. Stopping short. All right, little chunky monkey there. I hit slowly behind it. Oh darn. We're gonna continue to work on it until I get it solid. So something happened where I hit behind the ball just slightly. But you know you're working on the right things because not shifting my weight, arms are staying straight. That's a great poem, isn't it? Not shifting my weight and my arms are staying straight. Here we go again. Not shifting my weight, arms are staying straight. Wow! Did you see that alignment stick? Not a bad shot, maybe a little thin. Where'd my alignment stick go? I stopped short, but not short enough. It's right over here in the woods, stabbed into the middle of a tree. Continue to work it out. Divot board, stopping short. Good post impact, bad contact with the ball, a little behind it, but not really worried because I know when I get through impact that my impact position is so solid. Here we go again, working on stopping short. So pointing the club down at the ground, that's really the secret gravy right there. Weight forward. Well, good shot. The stick flew away again. What's that tell me? It tells me I swung too far through in the forward swing. But good contact. Make sure there are no women or children around when you're doing this so that nobody gets impaled by a stick. We would not want that. But I'm really liking the results here in my practice session. This is my practice session. Really, Tom? You don't need a huge bucket of balls. Yeah, you don't. You just do this. You do this, and then you could take it to the golf course. So I'm just working on getting through impact, a little chunky there. But once I've finished this, you take away the divot board, you take away the stick, and then you simply will hit golf shots. Maybe you do a little rehearsal right to there, just like you have the drill. Nice and solid right there. And I should be trying to replicate the drill. I should be trying to point that club down, stopping short. There, nice and solid. You can see the same habits form. Good impact, good impact, good impact. So what should you be working on in your golf swing? You should be working on hitting the ball first, taking a divot on the front side of the ball. The way we do that, lead arm stays straight, the weight stays forward. If you can do those two things, which are really simple to remember, you're going to play great golf. Hey Saguto golfers, Tom Saguto here. Today we're talking about a really easy way to get the perfect impact position without having to do any fancy moves in your golf swing. Now, perfect impact is where the hands lead the golf ball at impact. Right there, you see that? Get that etched into your memory. Now I want you to look at one position here, and it's probably gonna stand out to you. This is my setup position. This is my impact position. Aren't they pretty similar? That is why I'm able to hit the ball solid without doing a whole lot of thinking. I set this at setup, and I keep it all the way through. There's a good strike. So, if you can get the idea of presetting impact at setup, you are going to hit the ball very solid because you don't have to make anything or work so hard in your golf swing to create forward shaft lean with the club like this. I like the idea of keeping things simple, eliminating variables. So for me, if I set up with my hands in the middle, I have to create forward shaft lean at impact. That is a variable. If I set up with my hands even more back, well, now I'm setting up to flip my hands through impact. That's going to cause inconsistency. Just don't even do that. So setting up with the hands forward tells the club to go into the ground in front of the ball every single time. You see how simple that is? I don't have to work to do that. It's just built into the physics and geometry of the swing. So whenever you get set, try and get your hands more ahead. Just setting the arms like this automatically puts you ahead of the ball game. Takes care of a lot of your golf swing. I just set them here, and then I swing trying to keep them there, and there's a ball divot strike again. One of the reasons I'm able to strike the ball really solid, and you see this on the channel, is that hand position. I often say in my online golf school that the setup is the swing. And it is so true. Almost every lesson, 95% of your swing is built right here in the setup. And that would surprise most people because you think, well, I duffed that shot because my swing wasn't right. You could have duffed the shot because your setup wasn't right. I see so many golfers with the hands back, and they complain about why they flip through impact and why they hit slices. And when I get, this is my impact position when I do that. Hands back, hands middle, that's my impact position. There's flipping right there. It's built in to the setup. That's my fade. That's my slice. That's my chunk. I almost never will miss-hit a ball with the hands ahead at setup. The only thing that can happen is if I do too much of it, I'll hit it a little thin. In that case, I hit it good. So if you're going to err in a direction, err with the hands forward. Now there is a right amount of hands forward, and just setting the hands a little bit more ahead at address, probably gonna feel new to you because I see so many golfers right here. And some golfers will say, Tom, I got my hands forward. And we look on video and it's like this. No, it's not forward enough. So we just get the hands here and say, oh, really out there? That far forward? Yeah, that far forward. Just look in a mirror at home. You'll see it right there. And once you've got it set, you swing. You don't have to think too much. I just keep what I have it set up. There's another ball divot. Ball divot, ball divot. How much thinking am I doing in my swing? Almost none, just one swing thought. And usually I'm just thinking about my shoulders, so I'm not even thinking about the setup. I set this, I forget it. Set it and forget it, set it and forget it. And we're creating this nice divot line in front of the golf ball every single time. Go again. Ball first again. You'll never hit behind it unless you do something freaky. And that's where we'll have to look into something else, some other part of your swing. But if you started out like this and you kept it, and by keeping it, I mean this. Start like this. Top of backswing. I'm keeping it here. You can't see it. You have to look at it from a different angle, but I'm keeping it. There's impact. I'm keeping it. After impact, I try and keep it just so I can show you what you need to have good ball striking. You keep it through impact. You don't have to keep it after impact, but I really recommend that you do if you want to ingrain this habit. Keeping it there. Slow motion. There it is again, ball first divot. Ball first divot. Do you do it with every club in the bag? Oh yeah, 3-wood, driver. If you want to start drawing your driver, drawing your 3-wood, getting your 3-wood to really pep off the turf, just put the hands in the correct position. Hands forward. Set your arms like this for ball striking bliss. Here we go. That was nutted. That is why we play golf right there. Whew. And this is what's going on in the Saguto.golf online golf school. You build the setup, that 95%. You build a good setup that creates this. So this hand position is one part of it. There's a few other parts though that make you a robot. You have to set up correctly to get this. So go check it out. It's a structured program designed to help you play the best golf of your life right now. So hands ahead. There it is again. If only this got out to more golfers. You know, if you're enjoying this video, send it out to more golfers. Help your buddies. I'd love to see the golf world experience shots like that every single time. It can be done. You don't have to be a pro with 10,000 hours. You just have to do these things that work when you do them. Here we go again. I'll give you an idea of my schedule so you know what's going on in my world. I don't do a whole lot of playing and practicing. I do most of my time teaching. So when I get out here and film, most of the time, this is my practice when I'm filming. Now, for me to be able to do this, come out and film, I have to have a swing that doesn't have a lot of variables. I can't control shifting. I can't control turning my hands over. I can't do that. It's all timing based. This is not timing based. This is just do it, set it, forget it, swing. And it's beautiful when you see it come off the face. Makes you want to play a lot more. So what are we doing today? We're setting the hands a little bit more forward. Why? Because it's going to give you the best feeling in golf, that crispy sensation on the center of the club face. Let's set it up again. You just got to watch the whole way because it's so beautiful. That is it right there. So Saguto golfers, it's not always your swing that can be the problem. It can be something as simple as 1 inch of hand position at setup that you need to play great golf. Set your hands ahead and you'll be enjoying great ball striking for the rest of your life. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in a future episode. Shaft lean at impact is one of the hottest topics in golf, and you need forward shaft lean to be able to hit the ball first and take a nice divot after it time and time again. What a lot of golfers don't know though is that you shouldn't force shaft lean to happen. So I'll see a lot of golfers saying, oh yes, I'm flipping my hands and my wrists. I'm doing this with the club through impact. I'm topping the ball, I'm chunking it, I'm not hitting it well. So I just need more forward shaft lean. So I'll see some students, when they come into the golf school and they try this, they try and push their hands ahead. I see some golfers going as far as doing this. They're saying, I've got my forward shaft lean, Tom, but they're topping the ball because they're not doing shaft lean correctly. Shaft lean is just a byproduct of good fundamentals in the golf swing. Here's what I mean by that. You will get to this position here at impact with the hands ahead naturally if you do a couple of things. The first thing is this. When I go to the top of my backswing, I start my downswing. My right arm doesn't early extend, so I'm not straightening my right arm early. If you straighten this arm early, the shaft lean just goes backwards. So there's your chunks, there's your tops and thins. You'll never have forward shaft lean with early extension. Another thing with that, weight going backwards. If the weight's falling back in the downswing, you also can't get good forward shaft lean. So there's two things right there that could fix almost every amateur's problem, is if we did the opposite of that. If you didn't early extend, if you kept the trail arm in, and if you kept the weight moving forward, you play some great golf. Now when I keep the trail arm in and the weight forward, watch what happens. Trail arm in, weight moving forward, coming into impact there. There's my forward shaft lean. If I tried to force forward shaft lean, I would top it all day long. Because a lot of golfers don't know that the more forward your hands go, the more you introduce some variables into your swing, such as topping. So the more forward the hands are, I can't strike the ground. Look at this. Like I actually can't. The club's off the ground. I'm missing it every time. Now I'm not going to hit this because I don't want to dent up my beautiful shiny club. But club's off the ground. So the more forward the hands go, the less you're going to contact the ground. It sounds kind of weird. Now I've got to hack down into it. You're going to hit a really low bullet. That's what happens when golfers try and force this shaft lean. Top shots, or they're going to chop down into it with a lot of forward shaft lean. My wrists are starting to hurt. So that's not the right way to go about shaft lean. Another thing is, if I wanted to hook the ball, I push the hands more forward too. Because the more forward the hands go, the more into out I swing. So I swing a ton out to the right, hit these big curves to the left. Instead of forcing shaft lean, you should be thinking about what do you need to do in the downswing to just get there naturally. And what do you need to do in the backswing to also get there naturally. So if I was going to get the correct amount of shaft lean, I would start with shaft lean at address. And then I would tell myself, don't change that. Keep it, and I return to it, versus trying to force it. And if you're flipping and scooping, and then you try and force shaft lean, we don't know what's going to happen there. It's just so inconsistent. If you wanted to get good shaft lean, you set up with it, and you keep it. As I get through impact, and you saw that position right there, there's shaft lean. If I'm losing shaft lean, then you got a couple different reasons. Your weight's going back, your right arm is straight, and your trail arm is straightening. And even when we get to a full swing, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter, iron or driver, it's all the same. All the same. So I start with forward shaft lean, and I just keep it. And there we go again. I'm bringing it through more exaggerated so you can see that I've got forward shaft lean without having to manufacture it. I used to be the same way. I would try and force shaft lean. It never worked for me. Like, okay, hands ahead, hands ahead. So I'd swing, and there's a top. Because I'm forcing the hands ahead. I've got shaft lean, yes I do. But the result stinks, and everybody says, then you start saying to yourself, well, everybody wants me to get shaft lean, but I'm topping the ball. So I've got shaft lean, but it's not working, so I'll go back to my old ways. That's not the solution to the problem. The problem just is your right arm or your weight going back. So let's get the weight going forward. Let's keep the trail arm in, keep the shaft lean. There we go. Look at it again. There it is. And I got a divot in front of the ball. Just showing you, once again, exaggerating it. Now I'm going to not exaggerate this one so you can just see what it looks like on a normal swing. But it's the same concept. Just a fuller follow through. Arm in. Shaft lean at address. Just keep it. There we go. So the ball goes higher and farther now because I'm not holding this down, because that's de-lofting the club balls going out lower. But I still have shaft lean. I still have shaft lean. It doesn't have to be this to play good golf. You can play great golf with this amount of shaft lean right here, this amount. But beyond that point, it becomes excessive unless you're trying to manufacture a shot that, like a specialty shot, like a really low one. You don't need that. And like I said, it affects contact. Just keeping it forward shaft lean, just the right amount, keep it. And you're gonna think it's nearly automatic. And that's what nobody's telling you. They're all telling you to get shaft lean. Your buddy in the cart's telling you, 30 handicap buddy in the cart's saying, hey buddy, you need more shaft lean. And he's probably there on the second tee or the third tee saying, after you duffed your first drive, he's like, yeah, you just need to get those hands ahead. Get those hands ahead. Yeah, lag it in there. And you're saying, that's great, but I just topped my next 7. And you get to the 5th tee, he's taking all your money. He says, hey man, thanks for all the cash in that Nassau game. It was really swindling you there. So don't try and manufacture it. Just start with it and keep it. You be throwing darts. She's a beauty. So this is one of the lesser known things about shaft lean. If you want to get good shaft lean in the golf swing, check out my golf school, SagutoGolf. It's a complete golf swing training program. Shows you how to do this shot after shot and do it the right way without having to work so hard. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you in a future episode. You're about to learn one of the best secrets to incredibly crispy ball striking, and all you need is a golf club and 2 golf balls. Check this out. All right, so crispy impact happens when you hit the ball first, you take a nice divot in front of it. I've got a yellow ball right here. I've got the white ball. I'm gonna hit the white ball, but I want the divot to be on the front side of the white ball. So there's a nice crispy golf shot, just like that. You see that? That's what we all want. That's why we play golf. It feels great. That yellow ball is my reference point. A lot of golfers trying to hit at the golf ball, meaning they're focusing all their energies on hitting the ground here where the ball is. But we want the divot on the front side of the ball. So shouldn't we be hitting in front of the golf ball? Survey says yes, 100% of the time we are actually bottoming out the club in front of the golf ball, never at the golf ball. That's why the divot's always on the front side. A great tip and a great thing for you to visualize is you take that yellow ball and you take the white ball, and I want you to imagine that the point of contact on the ground will always be directed at that yellow ball. The white ball is not there. I want you to imagine that there's a snake there and its head is in front of the golf ball. So its head would probably be around where this yellow ball is. And I want you to chop its head off. Now, I don't like the word chop, but the idea here was I want you to focus your energy on getting that club to bottom out there. You see that every time, every time. Because when I do that, I'm compressing the ball. I'm feeling buttery, crispy, KFC contact with the golf ball. That yellow ball is the head of the snake. All of your effort gets directed towards the head of the snake. So I focus on making the divot here, here. All of your effort gets directed towards the head of the snake, so I focus on making the divot here, here. Little disclaimer, you don't have to push your hands ahead, be like this. I'm not pushing my hands forward. I'm focusing on just simply thinking about the snake. I'm actually throwing the club down and forward. Throwing the club down and forward. You see my wrists are impact here? They're pointing down. I'm pointing the wrist down, pointing the shaft down at the ground. I'm not pushing the hands forward, but rather pointing down. I'm actually throwing the club down and forward. Throwing the club down and forward. I'm pointing the wrist down, pointing the shaft down at the ground. I'm not pushing the hands forward, but rather pointing down. This is the secret to incredible golf ball striking. And when I focus on that spot, that yellow ball, I envision hitting here, not here. If I hit at the ball, I'm just going to hit thin or fat shots. This is the spot I want my divot to be, so I'm going to focus all of my energy on this spot right here. Chop the head off of the snake. Divot on the front side of the ball, nice compression through impact. This works with every club in the bag. Yes, even the driver, because with the driver, you still need to have the hands ahead at impact. We don't flip with the driver, we don't flip with any of our clubs. There's always going to be forward shaft lean, there's always going to be a bottom out point on the front side of the ball with the best players. The players who are the best ball strikers are doing this right here. Whereas the players who are the worst ball strikers are doing the opposite. They're hitting at the ball, they're flipping their hands through impact like this. If you want to take this to the next level, I strongly recommend you check out this video right here. It will help you build up the fundamentals of being an excellent ball striker. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in that video.